That's what Barbie like
it's so embarrassing because I get emotional about Barbie. It's so good. Like, and I'm obviously like not really upset with you guys, but like this is so embarrassing, KFC.
No, it's
but
not.
no, it's so good. But like,
get that
how you feel about like you're talking about the Joker, like, oh, you have like these dark thoughts, you can relate to them. Like that's how Barbie's changing the world.
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We are doing something right now that I think we've probably done maybe like 5 times our entire career. First of all, recording in the 10 a.m. hour.
Yeah, okay.
That's super rare. And right now, it is just John and I in the studio. I don't know how many times that's ever happened.
I would guess.
There was
like very.
Are
you saying under 5?
Yeah.
I think it's probably accurate.
Yeah, I think there was a couple times in the old office I knew how to set up the file. And if, like, we needed to go, I could, like, set up the recording and press record, and then we would just go, and I would press stop, and then the guys would handle it from there. For whatever reason, if someone couldn't be in there to record with us. But since the very beginning, it's either been Brendan or Nick or it's just now Jackie, Pavs, somebody along the way has always at least been in the room or watching. So
acknowledging it has made it weird. Now I'm like, my eyes are being pulled over there to make sure there's nothing over there.
There's nothing to look at. And also, every now and then the guys will go like, oh, wait, hang on. Like the volume, like the levels aren't, you know?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
We could be. So right now, this is just the fellas. We can say whatever we want here. Not like we ever censor ourselves, but it's just us, John. It's just us. We've got a shot clock episode going today. We've got a lot to get into, and we have 2 more interviews and the rundown today. So this is a old school Barstool day. We got a lot of shit to do. So we are going to only talk about each topic for a couple minutes.
Couple minutes.
We
have a clock that started. We have a minute left. I guess this is the first
topic. This is the opening, but it's
going to keep going?
Yeah. So we have 1 of 24.
Oh!
So the next one is going to,
Bro, this is going to, that's like, I mean, we're ahead of time. We're going to kill 50 seconds.
I mean, now, this episode is fucking cake. We have 47 more seconds into our opener to go. So I'll lay out the rundown here. We're going to do our Barstool Twitter weekend roundup, which is our new thing that we're going to do every for the Tuesday episode. We're going to round up what happened to your favorite Barstool personalities over the weekend and all the dumb things they said on social media. We're going to run through the Barbie and Oppenheimer just cultural takeover that's going on right now. We'll hit up some viral things going on social media, like Mean Girl type responses where we got to, should you do this or should you do that? And then John told me he's got himself in a predicament that he is, I think, pretty nervous about, if I had to say so.
I don't even know if I'm going to put it out. I might cut it.
Well, here we go. On to the next topic. Perfect timing. 5 minutes on the clock. Barstool Weekend Roundup. This happened, I think, on Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe even like Thursday night. It was like it feels so long ago because I was like, let's get in the fucking studio right now and talk about it. One of my favorite moments ever. Dave Portnoy tweets this out. Somebody was in the liquor store, saw a picture of him with his cardboard cutout of Dave Portnoy holding High Noon, and they put right next to it a cutout of Dwayne The Rock Johnson holding Terramana, towering over Dave, just completely overshadowing him. Dave tweeted it out being like, oh, no, this is not good.
No, Dave,
this is the worst thing ever happened. Or whatever.
The whole thing is so perfect. The picture is hysterical.
It looks like they Millmored him on that billboard. They made him, the angle or something made him shorter than he is, and he's holding it under his arms like a goofball.
Dave just going, this is a goddamn disaster.
Goddamn disaster. That's what the tweet was.
Bro,
it's so true.
I could tell you everything about that tweet because I've gone back to look at it 50 times, 100 times.
Please, if you're go watch the YouTube because you got to see the visual, or check out KFC Radio on Instagram or Twitter to see the picture. But for the people listening, paint the picture.
It is. Well, I mean, you just did it. There's nothing more to it. It's just Dave.
The Rock is so handsome though. He's got like his like button up.
He's got
like,
the knit polo out.
Yeah.
The Rock looks It's also like Dave is in standard definition and The Rock's in HD.
Yes.
Like I'll be honest, I'm stupid, but I zoomed in. I was like, is that actually The Rock?
It did feel like it was a better cardboard cutout.
Yeah, like
which is like, yeah, even The Rock's cardboard is better than you.
It was, bro. I paused I was watching a movie Friday night. I paused the movie. I was laughing so hard. And I kept fucking looking at it. And then I was like, I'm a quote tweet. I was like, nah, Dave might get mad. Like, I'm piling on. And I was like, never mind. And then I was like, I gotta quote tweet. It was so, bro, I was in tears for 20 minutes.
Dude, the king of spin just going, oh, this is a goddamn disaster. Like anybody else, he'd be like, oh, why'd you send me that picture? Bradley Cooper clearly outshines, whoever. Yeah. Like he would have had something to say about why he's better than the other guy.
He's like, he looks like a little kid carrying his bag, his
lunchbox.
Yeah.
Here's my high noons, guys. I brought my high noons to the party.
His shoulders are so, because he admittedly doesn't have shoulders, but his shoulders are up to here.
Yeah, for some reason he's like this, and then the way the billboard is angled, it looks like he's like a midget. He's like 3 feet tall. It truly reminds me of those Milmore. There was the one particular Milmore one where he makes him like just short enough where you're like, is that real?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you knew, but there was a really good job where it was like, I think, is Dave really actually like 5'4"? And he looked like that. And then there's The Rock, like chin out, chest out, Terramana.
It looks like The Rock is a professional athlete, college athlete who's visiting the local middle school and is going to sit with the little nerd who's always bullied.
Yes.
And he's like, come on, get your lunch. And I'm like, I'll come sit with you.
Yeah,
and he's like,
don't worry,
right, I'll carry my stuff.
Don't worry,
he's got his lunch tray up to his shoulders. He's like, come on, buddy. Well, I'll sit with you.
just a brutal draw. Like if you made a list of like the 5 people you don't want to be on a billboard next to, a cardboard cutout next to, The Rock is right up there. Like, I mean, it is just like Dave is edgier than a lot of people. Like he could have been like, oh, you like that pretty boy, like that, fuck that guy. Like Timothy Chalamet, I don't know, whoever. like I'm cooler than him, I'm funnier than him, whatever. Like The Rock's got you beat every which way, every single angle, and he's got his $1 billion tequila. It's like, okay. Thanks, local fucking Connecticut liquor store. Like,
I've
you couldn't hook your boy up?
I've gone back, I don't know, let's say my tweet has a couple 100,000 views. I'm a couple 100,000. Like, I'll be like looking at Twitter and I'll be like, oh, it's X now, okay. And like, I'll just get sick of reading those tweets and I'll go, I'm gonna just go stare at that tweet. And
Dude,
then I just, it's all I do on my phone is just stare at that tweet.
If you had to pick one Barstool, like one thing from Barstool, it's a little abstract, but I think it's that. Like those moments where like a picture of one of us comes out or one of us does a thing. Like I remember Dave being like, I was hearing whispers in the hallway that KFC drives a Fiat now. Yeah. And then we made fun of that picture, and when a fat picture of Dan came out, or a nose picture of Dave comes out, and when it's your turn in the blender, it really, in the beginning, it sucks. Eventually, you learn to love it and have fun with it. But I think if there's one thing that I want to live on with Barstool forever, no matter what happens, it's those little things where it's like. Even when he quote tweeted his C cup titties the other day, that was he was a man of honor putting that out there. That was like, yeah, man, that picture was.
He called them like old Davy boobs or something like that.
It's like I look in the mirror, I'm good. I take a picture, I'm old Davy boobs. Okay, next topic. We got to keep it moving. We're already 10 seconds late. Stephen Cheah. No, we'll do that at the end so we can wrap it into Barbie and Oppenheimer. Speaking of Barbie and Oppenheimer, though, Jersey Jerry went to the movies for what feels like the first time ever in his life. I'm assuming he saw one of the big two?
No. What an idiot.
I was at the movies.
He saw Sound of Freedom.
Okay, so that's the other one.
Yeah.
I was at the movies looking like the other movies out. I was like, this sucks for you guys. But there, Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones, there's a couple big ones. Then there's a couple just like Insidious is out, and it's like, no. Seeing you.
But also, I think Insidious won last weekend.
No,
I think there was one.
Not,
I could be wrong.
That's probably true. Those are big, but then then it's over.
Yeah,
like,
I think there was.
You gave
if I'm right with there was a
weekend
between. No, I don't think there was a weekend between Mission Impossible and. Was there?
I don't know.
Whatever. If there was Insidious one that weekend.
What did you see? Sound of Freedom. Okay, and that is the most. We could probably have a little segment on that real quick. I don't know if movie theaters fuck up a lot. Like your Oppenheimer fucked up.
Yeah.
But that compilation of all the weird things happening at Sound of Freedom screenings is kind of weird.
But there were like 3, right? I saw one. The theater was empty. That's because
I feel like I saw a pretty rapid fire. There was the guy spraying the fucking like Clorox. There was the one guy coming out saying the air conditioner was broken. There was the one couple that said like there was no sound. There was one. How about this? One.
Well, also that's 3.
Well, but I mean that was like it kept going. Those are just like the ones I remember off the top of my head.
I bet you could do that. I mean, you know who the biggest victims in the world are now? Right-wing people. Where they, like
that's right.
It is.
Let's go with this.
It's crazy. It's like
Tommy Lahren. Let's go. Let's make that money, John.
Fucking like you have a crazy popular movie. Sometimes like you can maybe get a 3-minute compilation
of
like
you
things.
The other way around. I thought you were on their side.
No.
Like quiet. We're trying to make that money, John.
Like it's crazy. They're like this movie's been on the shelf. People didn't want people to see it. It was Fox's movie. It was 21st Century's movie in 2020. COVID happened. They got put on the back shelf. It's out 3 years later. Yeah, that happens to movies all the fucking time.
Yeah. The only thing I will say, there was one person that said they got up and left because the movie had subtitles on, which, first of all, a crazy reason to leave the movie. Second of all, let's go subtitles in the movie theater.
Yeah, AMC does that. They recently started offering it. Yeah, no, like it would be like a subtitle screen. I actually haven't seen it available, but I saw the announcement.
You really are cutting your legs because there are still a bunch of uncultured swine out there who don't do.
I think in the theater, I'd like no.
Bro, I'm telling you, during Oppenheimer, there was definitely times where I was like, I didn't really pick up on what they were saying.
Oh yeah, me too. I left.
Well, you had an audio problem,
yeah.
but I didn't. And there were times where it was like if they were showing, at times they were showing like the universe, and then Oppenheimer was speaking, and I was like, oh wait, what did he say there? So I guess I got to give a little point to the non-subtitle uncultured swine. You do keep your ears sharp if you're not reading, but just come to the good side, and we can just put the words out all the time, and you'll remember everything and learn everything better. But if I'm going to that every fucking time.
Yeah,
leave the movies, to pay money, and you just wait online. Oh, I got something about that. We're all over the place with the shot clock. Anyway, back to Jerry. What did he see?
Jerry, he saw Sound of Freedom,
so what did he say?
Which I really want to see, by the way. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to see it. I'm sure it's I think the consensus seems to be it's a pretty decent action movie that's getting propped up. So I'm sure it's a movie I love. Yeah.
I was told it's a documentary.
No.
I was told it was a documentary on child trafficking.
I mean, it's a movie that's based on a true story that is not true, like all based on a true story.
I have to have a conversation.
But Jerry had a tweet that was about I don't. Jerry's one of those funny ones where I can't tell if he's in the bit or not.
Real quick, because I was like, why is this movie like it shouldn't be politicized if there's an action movie about a hero saving a kid that was trafficked. And then it's also like based on a true story.
It's one of those that I hear is like
based. Like, how could anyone be against that? And then I was told like, no, it's a documentary where they're really like digging into like who and what and like who am I? And I was like, oh, like, all right, that makes a little more sense. It's a fucking just action movie.
It's an action movie,
and there are people claiming like conspiracy shit.
It's all QAnon. The star's a QAnon guy. It's Jim Caviezel, whatever, the guy who played
right.
And then like I guess. The conspiracy theories come from like
I thought it was but my thought was I knew it was a QAnon guy, but like okay, yes, if a QAnon guy makes a movie, you don't want to support that. But at least he's still making like if it's a QAnon guy doing a documentary, then I feel like this is all crazy bullshit. But if it's still just a movie, it's like
I think it's
the
like
art from the artist.
QAnon people are being like that is real, and then people are like no, it's a movie,
okay,
and that's what the thing is. But anyway, Jerry had a tweet that, again, I can't tell whether when he's in the bit or if he's not or what, but he was like, this is crazy. This is, I forgot, I'm going to put words in his mouth, but he's like, this is nuts.
You want me to find
like,
it?
I'm at the theater right now. People are dressed up for it. This is like sad. Adults dressed like Barbie stuff.
Oh.
And
I mean, that.
It's a little crazy.
Coming from Jerry?
I don't know if I've ever seen Jerry in anything but a football jersey.
I was going to say, he dresses up every day. Every day of his week is Halloween.
It is. He has to be in the bit on that. And
what is Jersey Jerry's handle?
I believe it's at Jersey Jerry.
You would think that, right?
Yeah. But he was like, he's like, I have to make a video about this. This is so sad. And I was like, it's just a football game. Only it happens once a year rather than every Sunday.
Jerry the Kid.
Yeah,
I mean, that is.
Doesn't happen once a year. It happens once every 20 years.
That is. Jerry's usually not in on on the bit.
I feel like he's in on that one. I feel like he knows what he's doing.
I gotta make a video about this. People with pink all over the place. Grown adults at that. Barbie shirts everywhere. Little boys dressing like Ken. What the fuck is going on? That feels real to me.
It feels real, but it can't be real.
It's real. That's fucking absolutely real. That's absolutely real from a grown adult autograph chaser. Which, by the way, we got a little more color on the Jersey Jerry driving, getting that guy to drive him home from Pittsburgh. We talked about last week. The driver was an adult autograph seeker, and Jerry promised him a Kenny Pickens autograph. So that's why that guy went, and he missed his sister's wedding for it. To drive Jersey Jerry like an 18-hour round trip, all for a Kenny Pickens autograph. And I don't know if Jerry even got it done.
It's crazy.
Crazy town. I think this is a very real tweet that he is like, you can't have boys dressed in pink and being like...
But Ken's not even in pink, I guess. Maybe, sometimes. But, like, I wouldn't say Ken's a pink guy. I was like, hang on, he has to be.
I'm Ken enough is that hoodie. I'm Ken enough.
Yeah.
That's a great hoodie.
Yeah,
that's awesome. If Mattel wouldn't see and DS immediately, I would sell that shit. Jerry is, this is also coming on the heels of him telling you I don't like comedy. I just don't do comedy.
I completely forgot about that until I saw his tweet about the movies. He was so nice and so genuine. He was sitting on the rundown set and I was walking by and he was like, "Hey, Feits, I saw Out of Order the other night. Loved it. Great. Like, it was great, whatever he said." And he's like, "And I don't even like comedy." I was like, who just says like such a broad? I don't like the genre of laughter.
Dave is a famous. I don't like stand-up.
He doesn't like stand-up, but Dave likes
like
comedy.
Yeah,
like Dave likes.
But I could see Dave not liking sketch shows too.
Oh, for sure.
So
Dave hates Out of Order. 100%.
That maybe is what Jerry means, but the way he articulated it or did not articulate it is what's funny.
Yeah.
Just comedy.
I did not.
Making people laugh with performance of some type. Nope.
Not for me.
Don't do it.
Not my thing, man.
It's like you are comedy, Jerry. Like everything he does is walking comedy.
We are on our second 5, so we can move.
Yeah. Attention all partiers and ragers. We've created the perfect drink for you. It's Pirate Water. It's from the creators of Four Loko and Mamitas. The biggest party drink of the last generation, the newest party drink of this generation. Pirate Water has 4 different flavors, 10% alcohol by volume, and this has been the summer of Pirate Water. If you're on board with us, you know the deal. You know it's only $2. You know it's 16 ounces. You know it's 10% alcohol by volume. You know it comes in 4 great flavors, and it's got some sort of magical pirate magic in it that makes you just get a buzz instantly. You only need to drink 2 or 3 of them, and the party is set. If you haven't gotten down with Pirate Water yet, it is the summer of Pirate Water. There's still time, so get your party on, whether you're going to the beach, whether you're going to the lake, you go to the pool, go to the bar, hang out at the place, whatever. It's Pirate Water all summer this summer. Get pegged, party with us. It's go to drinkpiratewater.com. You can find Pirate Water in a location near you or order it on GoPuff. It's us, it's Brianna, it is a whole bunch of people at Barstool, and it is anybody who likes to party, get drunk for cheap. That is the name of the motherfucking game. People from college kids all the way up to parents have been drinking it this summer. So if you haven't done it yet, get on that. Go to drinkpiratewater.com or go order it on GoPuff. Rough weekend for our boy Angelo, who might have caught the Nate curse. Just had a couple bad run-ins.
Don't call it that. Nate will like it too much.
Well, I would not be around Nate. I mean, Nate ruined your movie the other day. Like the black cloud on Nate is true. But yeah, you're right. He'll be like, "Man, I do have a black cloud."
I am human Eeyore.
Michelangelo got dumped and got kicked out of his own hotel somehow.
Well, he tweeted the video of he got upgraded to a hotel. And was like, I just got upgraded to a massive room, like a suite, like a massive room, for no reason. I invite the entire state of Colorado to my party.
Right.
The hotel got mad at that.
But obviously nobody came. He was joking.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he actually did it.
The hotel got mad at that. He's like, fine, I'm inviting Utah and Nevada too. And then kicked him out of the room.
Yo, that is super funny. But also, I gotta have a talk with Mike. Like letting yourself get. I would chain myself to that hotel before I let them kick me out. Like he that means he willingly like packed his bags and left under the threat of gunpoint. Is the only way I would leave that hotel. I mean, that is to me. That is just got a call from the front desk. Inform the owner. Just got a call from the front desk that informed the owner of this room found the tweet and will call the police if I have a party. So this was more of like an Airbnb sort of thing.
But he says he got upgraded in the first one. He got upgraded to a room in a hotel.
Yeah. He says large hotel. I mean, maybe you're right, but like, I mean, this is not a hotel room. This is like.
I think it's because he.
Wow.
He said he
but
later.
He says the owner of this room. People can own hotel rooms.
Maybe it's like
when I come, like I'm a fucking actor, and when I come here, I like stay in this.
Yeah, they're also like those like duo. Like I know my grandfather lives in a hotel.
I mean, yeah, that is.
But
okay.
like they have residents and they have apartments and they have hotels.
And then when they're gone, they'll rent out their house.
But maybe I don't know.
So it's some sort of weird. I mean, it's got a full kitchen, an island. It's got like 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, jacuzzi, and then. But here's the weirdest part: like if you can see outside that window, there's like a house next door. So whatever, either Michelangelo worded like hotel room wrong, or this is just one of those weird.
But in his updates, he's like, "I'm talking to corporate now."
Okay, so yeah, just got a call from the front desk that informed the owner of this room found the tweet. And we'll call the police if I have a party. What qualifies as a party? Why does this hotel have an owner? I need answers. P.S. Nevada and Arizona have now been added to the guest list. I have now been forced out of my room against my will. Phone call with the general manager incoming. This was the other thing. He was like, I'm dangerously close to leaking the name of the hotel. That would have been the first thing I did.
Yeah.
This was almost like this is a guy just who hasn't been through enough internet wars. Like I would have gone to that immediately. I would have
imagine me at the airport being like, my flight's delayed. I won't say what airline just yet.
Not yet. But they better watch out. And then he follows this up with like, all these tweets about all this shit, and then he just says, PSA, I'm single again. Which I texted him, and let's just say like single Mikey is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Single Angelo is because remember when Mike first started here, he was like everybody else who starts here. You're nervous and you're scared and you have no style and you don't have a personality or anything yet, and then you get your job, you figure your shit out, you do well, and then all of a sudden you start to like dress how you want to dress and look how you want to look, and he grows a beard and I feel like he's just ready to fuck bitches, to be honest. That was the sense I got in my text. I was like, Mike is just gonna smash bitches. I still would like to know like the final say here, though. It doesn't look like he put out the update. The matter was escalated to corporate. I'm waiting an email. It's been over 12 hours since I was evicted from the hotel that I paid for by making a joke on Twitter. And I've not been issued a refund. I mean, to not get your money back is just fucking insane. I just can't imagine ever leaving that hotel. But, hey, Mike, I stand with you, and fuck whatever hotel chain that was. Last one here, and this ties in nicely to our next segment, because we got to talk about Barbie and Oppenheimer. Stephen Cheah, I hate to even do this. I hate to even give this attention, because this video is so stupid. And this is just Cheah. Cheah is too self-aware now. There's no way that this was like a real movie review. Did you watch it?
I did not, because I haven't seen Oppenheimer, so I didn't watch it.
I mean, I don't think it's really going to spoil it if you want to watch it.
I think one of his main complaints was it's not an action movie.
Yeah, he was like, I went into it expecting a war action movie.
I'm aware it wasn't that, so I don't think there'd be any spoilers.
Yeah, like, and then, yeah, don't worry. And like you're gonna like it.
I also know what happened in history, so.
All right, coming out of Oppenheimer, quick thought. It is a sheep in wolf's clothing. I thought it was gonna be an action movie all about war. It was for about hour 45-ish.
It's never about. It's
the
never
last
that.
Hour and 15 minutes is fucking C-SPAN. It is a courtroom case. Part of it's in black and white.
That happens right away. I left 10 minutes early. I was already
not
doing
what
that.
I thought
They
at all.
do time swaps with the black and white. You know it's black and white.
Dr. Robert Oppenheimer obviously met the atomic bomb. Interesting story around that. I'm not sure it was very well acted. It was fine.
It's just like, come on.
Not a ton of character development. He seemed like kind of a dickhead.
Also insane.
But brilliant. The last hour 15 could have done without. Could have completely cut out, and it would have been a much better movie. The fact that we had to listen to this kangaroo court hearing about his character. Ridiculous. Terrible. Made the movie not repeat watchable. You're not going to want to recrotch it. It was all right.
It's so...
Also, the trailers, I don't know if it was just the theater I was at. We got 2 previews. I want to see like 5-6 previews.
That happened to both when I saw Barbie and Oppenheimer.
I know they did it for Oppenheimer because it's 3 hours. So they're like, if you put 5, you're there for like 4 hours if you watch all the trailers.
Barbie, I walked in like 10 minutes late, and it was like 10 minutes after the start time, which like
right. Yeah,
the concessions were crazy.
I missed the beginning of both movies and I'll tell you why I missed the beginning of Oppenheimer, and then I missed the beginning of Barbie because Oppenheimer went long. But the movie is called Oppenheimer. It's about Oppenheimer. It's about him as like a person. It's about him politically. It's about him as a scientist. And then the last hour of C-SPAN that he's talking about, it's like the smear campaign that tore him down and ruined his image. If you're telling the story of Oppenheimer, if your movie is called Oppenheimer, it's like a crazy integral part of his story.
Yeah.
And it's where Robert Downey Jr. like shined. There's a moment where like it almost I said coming out of the movie, I didn't know that there was going to be like a court case element to it, but I was like, that was awesome when I realized that you also got that part of it.
Dude, those things, those like court case parts, those flashbacks or whatever they are, the deposition. Like the reason I said that is because like my favorite episode of The Office is like the deposition. I love that episode.
It.
Dude, one of my favorite movies is The Social Network. Mostly a deposition.
Dude, when
like,
you see
a deposition with flashbacks.
You watch the whole movie, and they do the flashbacks. That's the black and white, by the way. It's like when you're in the past, it's black and white, which I actually liked. I thought, I bet there are cinema folks out there who think that that's like heavy-handed. Like, we don't need it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I actually liked it. It was like, okay, we're back in time. Okay, you know what I mean? You got to like meet all the characters and know all the characters and then see them get deposed, and you see which ones like ride for them and which ones throw them under the bus and which ones were like brave and which ones caved and all the shit. Like, and Robert Downey Jr. was like, and Emily Blunt was amazing in that. Like it's, and like the whole story is about like the whole story of the atomic bomb is like we shouldn't have built it because it, you know, it's a terrible thing, but we had to build it because of the Nazis. But then the Nazis, we didn't need to use it on the Nazis, and and like that's what the court case is all about, and that's what the politics is all about. Like, and that's the character development, by the way. Like he captured the perfect. Cillian Murphy captured the idea of being like so smart you like can't live a normal life, you know, and I just it's like.
Cheah, though, you gotta tip your cap to Cheah. Like, he's really outside his element. It's like Jersey Jerry going to a movie and seeing people like enjoying something other than football. Like,
right.
Jerry,
well, you know what it is? Here's my theory. I think Cheah is a little bit jealous. I think Cheah is jealous that Oppenheimer's autism was like, I'm gonna be the smartest guy in the world, and Cheah's autism was, I understand the football draft. So I think deep down, subconsciously, he just wishes he was a little bit like Dr. Oppie. And he doesn't like that. That's what I think's going on there. It's just, I mean, I didn't even want to talk about it. I was like, I'm not even going to tweet about this. This is so crazy. It's like, you know, it's like going into Barbie being like, I thought it was going to be a fucking, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's happening too, by the way. The people who are like on both sides of Barbie, it's like, did you think this was going to be like, it's a stupid, silly, goofy movie.
It's, well...
Yeah, wait. We gotta
with Oppenheimer,
we gotta talk Barbie.
The reason I still haven't seen it is I went and the sound sucked, and I saw it like an old theater.
So what do you mean? Like it was unlistenable? Or
it was like there were 3 times I went with Nate, who made us our own bags of candy for it, which was really cute. He's like here, we ate dinner before.
Gay? Jackie was here.
Dude,
sign would be going up.
It was like he was like here, and it was just like in a Ziploc bag.
Now what was it though?
It was Reese's Pieces and Raisinets. It was delicious.
And that Raisinets, but okay.
And he's like, I got you this. I was like, this is crazy, but thank you.
Did you make like 5 of them for everybody?
No, it was just me and him.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys went like a crew.
No. It was just me and him.
Very funny.
And I was like, all right. All right. And it was crazy nice. It's just like, I was like, I've never seen this before. Mm-hmm. We get into the theater. We went to Angelica East. I think it's in the East Village. It's on 2nd and 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually seen one movie there before. I saw Licorice Pizza, and I also couldn't really hear that. But I thought that was because Licorice Pizza is like an old movie kind of deal. And if you don't know the movie, it's like a theater. Like it's like a real theater. Like there's a balcony, it's beautiful. It's like it's a theater.
Yeah.
And like it's just not. It was in 70 millimeter, but like first of all, it started like 15 minutes late, just the previews. Like
wait, what are we talking about now?
Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
what does 70 millimeter mean? It's supposed to be on IMAX or something?
It's what it's shot on, like the film.
No, I know that, but like what? So if it's not on IMAX, it looks weird or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like cut. It's like you're not seeing everything that was in it. It's like zoomed in, I think. And like it was weird. It was like, first of all, it's like right in the heart of NYU, so like a lot of young people and like friends, almost like we were in like a high school like theater, like people like talking across the way, like, oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
not
weird.
the vibe you want for Oppenheimer.
Yeah. And then
I usually am not a stickler for that shit. For Oppenheimer, it's like shut the fuck up.
Right. And then the previews didn't start for 15 minutes. Like it's like the lights were just on and people were just talking for 15 minutes, which was like kind of ruining the vibe for me. And then the previews started. And me and Nate were like, can you hear these? And it looked ridiculous. It looked like it was on a projection screen, like in class, where the teacher would just like put a piece of paper on it and it would project up.
Reflect up.
Yeah. And like because it was like at a weird angle. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And we're like, if it's like this when the movie starts, we're leaving.
Yeah, because that is one movie I would go see it in theaters and make sure it's right.
Yeah.
It would ruin the.
And then the movie started and it wasn't like that. It was good. But then the sound was fucked up. And twice in the first 15 minutes or so, we were like, can you hear this? And
meaning like it was muffled?
It was just like, it was like garbled.
Yeah.
And then the people next to me were like full on talking, like leaning forward, showing each other their phones. And I was like, fuck this. We were both like, let's just get the fuck out of here. Like this, like it's not the vibe.
I thought they stopped it.
No.
We
left.
walked out.
Yeah, we left.
So I will say this. I'm not usually a big like, you need to experience it in 3D IMAX, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can watch this on my couch and I'll be happy. I think it's funny that your problem was the audio. It is the only it's the only movie in movie history that I will say this about, have said this about. You have to go to the theater, not for the video, for the audio.
Yeah.
The audio of that movie in the theater, it makes a difference.
And you know what sucks
It's
now?
Very cool the way they do it.
Being in New York, there's one of the, I think there are like 20 some odd 70 millimeter IMAXs in the world.
Like people think they're going to IMAX. They're not going to like the IMAX.
Yeah.
Like there's IMAX theaters apparently that aren't like the Lincoln Center one is like.
There's
the
like
real
17 of them in the country.
Yeah.
And one's in Lincoln
Yeah.
Center. And now I'm like, since that's the bad experience with that, I'm like, now I have to see it there. And that's sold out.
Forever.
That was sold out all weekend. I don't know what it's like tonight.
I wonder if people are selling tickets secondary.
Yeah, get them on Gametime.
Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me if people were like, "Yo, I got $50 for this ticket, man."
There's one handicap seat, but that's in the midst of like 4, so it's taken by 3 handicaps. So I'd have to just go
right next to 3 cappers.
I'd have to just go be like,
"What's up, my cappers?"
I got a speech impediment.
Imagine you just go in there and ham it up, just act it up,
dude. I actually that leads me to a merch idea I had. About Oppenheimer. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen plenty of the quotes and reviews, and it seems to be a thing that's becoming a thing is I am become death. And we could make a shirt that says I am become mentally ill and really capitalize on that whole thing. But what we don't tell everybody is we don't mean depressed. That's what everyone's going to think this shirt means because what everyone talks about. We don't mean depressed. We mean you can sit in the handicap seats. People forget mentally ill used to mean something else.
Totally flip the connotation of that one.
But before we feel like we're about to segue, the other thing that I turned on the TV yesterday, and if I have a Spectrum, if you don't live in New York, you turn on TV, it just goes right to the news.
Yeah.
So NY1 came on, and I turned the TV on, I started fucking around my phone, so NY1's just kind of sitting on. And I hear the anchor talking about big opening weekend. This is last night. And probably for the first time in the history of my life, I watched a news segment where I knew what they were talking about. And let me tell you,
different world.
It must be a nightmare for people because they were so wrong about everything.
Yeah,
right?
What were they talking about?
It was just it was everything I knew what they were, where they got those numbers and those figures, but they weren't right. Like they were like it was. I believe the anchor said Huge opening weekend for cinema this weekend. Barbie opened with 70 million. Barbie finished the weekend with 70 million. Oppenheimer finished with weekend with 30 million for the biggest opening weekend in cinema history. And AMC said that 40 million people went to both. So 70 million, the figure they got, that's Thursday. Barbie did 70 million on Thursday, did 160 for the weekend.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer did 30 million on Thursday, did about 80 for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was the fourth largest in history, and 40,000 people went to both.
If 40 million people went, you would be making more than $70 million. It doesn't cost $2 to go to the fucking
I was
movies.
like, wrong. Is this what it's like to know things? It was crazy.
That's funny, too. Do you think about how many times you just watch those little local things like, oh, wow, that happened.
Yeah, like, whoa, 40 million people. Wow, yeah.
40 million people went to the fucking movies. A fifth of, like, the country was in the movies last night.
It must be a nightmare to know things, because I watched that. I've told 20 people.
Bro, it's like being Oppenheimer. There's a part where Oppenheimer, like, can't do some shit in his personal life, and he's, like, leaning on a friend for help, and he's like, I'm such a piece of shit, like, I'm sorry. And he's like, Robert, your brain, dude. Like, it's okay. I don't expect this from you. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're so, I can imagine if you, like, are thinking about, like, atoms and wormholes and black hole gravity and shit like that, you're probably like, I don't care that my apartment is messy right now.
Yeah.
Who cares if this is on the floor? Who cares what that girl says? Who cares, like, all that shit.
So they say, and it's one of those things where you find one thing and you use that to explain your behavior, but like a cluttered desk is actually a genius.
Yeah,
no, I'm fucking lazy.
Right.
I want to clean it.
Yeah, no, I just don't give a shit. Oppenheimer is fucking fire. It is a movie that completely lived up to the hype. It's why Cheah is so crazy to say the acting is bad. It's like everybody should get an Oscar. Like, everybody.
That's
all
a take
I
I haven't seen from anywhere else.
It's just not. It's just not correct.
Yeah. I don't want to say
So-
take. It's an opinion I haven't seen anywhere else.
Yeah. And Christopher Nolan is gonna win for this one because it's getting silly that he doesn't have one, and now this is a project worth giving it to. So, like, he's gonna win Best Actor, and he should. Best Director. It's because I hate long movies. It was 3 hours, and I was fine. Like, it could have kept going.
Yeah.
And they throw like 500 scientists at you. Like, right now, I couldn't give you the names of everybody else in the movie, but it doesn't matter. They do it in a way where it's just like, I don't remember what that guy is, but he's, like, on his side. And I can't remember his name, but he's not on his side.
Yeah.
So they really, like, the directing and the telling of the story. Like, they took the most, like, difficult story to tell, scientifically, historically, entertaining wise, all that, and, like, they told it well. Like, to me, that means I don't know exactly what directing and cinematography, blah blah blah, all that shit is, but, like, just give it all to Christopher Nolan. Also, that little no CGI thing is getting a little skewed, and now it's bothering me the other way. There's nothing in that movie that is completely CGI.
Yeah,
there is CGI, but so some things, like, helped certain scenes. But the big scene, the test, is no CGI, which is all that matters.
Yeah. Right.
So he, in essence, didn't use CGI because now they got the other nerds on the other side going, oh, these people think there was no CGI, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
But
like, there was like
CGI
no
is
CGI.
like such a funny thing because, like, you know who was one of the biggest users of CGI is David Fincher,
and he's regarded as, like, the fucking most brilliant.
But he also doesn't really do act like big
scenes,
right?
like that,
he uses CGI to recreate, like, 1970s San Francisco,
right?
And
right.
in Zodiac, and stuff
yeah,
I think people just think of it as action, where like building buildings and stuff like that.
Totally. My favorite thing with Nolan is that tidbit about in Tenet, how buying a plane and driving it through the hangar was cheaper than CGI. Like, fine, we'll just do it. But I love they said, why do you do practical effects instead of special effects? And he goes, it's more fun. And I love that. He was like, it's just like you're on a green screen. It sucks when you're in a movie on a set and we blow up a fucking trailer. It's awesome. It's cool.
Actually saw. I do think CGI is sometimes, and I think this is obvious. I don't think I'm like oh, I unveiled something. Like, it's used almost more for marketing than it is for the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the new Mission Impossible, it's not CGI, but, like, you know, that scene is like a half a second scene of him doing the cliff jump.
Right,
It's very
right,
quick.
right.
My gut still like turns when I think of it, like the free fall. But it is.
We built that up as like
It's very, very quick. I don't think it would be a huge thing if he didn't actually do it.
Right.
Like maybe it would. I don't know. But I think we talked about it for 2 years. That's
So it
more
built it
marketing than it is anything.
Yeah.
I forget why I was saying that. What'd you say?
Just that why Christopher Nolan does it. He says because it was awesome, because it's cool.
But the best way I
like
saw it like explained to me is there was a tweet and it was like, this is why practical effects are better. You feel the danger here. And it was from the Temple of Doom. It's Harrison Ford with one of the guys with the red hats. And he's like, they're on a boat. And it's getting caught in a boat's in a propeller.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that's actually happening.
Yeah.
You feel the danger.
I
was like, oh, yeah, I do
getting
feel
close.
this.
Yeah,
I really – and as a viewer, you feel much safer when you can tell it's CGI. And I was like, that does make sense.
Even if you can't see it, like, on some level,
yeah.
it feels real versus not real.
You're like, all right,
it's a great scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
Yeah. I haven't seen the other Indy yet. I feel bad that got overshadowed because I'm like a diehard Indiana Jones guy, and I feel like I ignored my boy to go see these other fuckers.
Yeah. The last hour and a half or so was really, really awesome. First half hour is very heavy CGI to where you can really tell. The first half hour feels like a little Polar Express-y.
Oh, terrible!
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
Because Harrison Ford's de-aged and. It feels.
Oh
very,
yeah, the de-aging is shitty.
But
that was the thing about Oppenheimer too. They did makeup and made people look old.
You'd really like New Indy actually. Now
I'm
that I think
sure
about it. The last hour and a half in particular, like I don't want to tell it to you.
Yeah, no, that's like next on my list for sure. So Oppenheimer, like, it's an R-rated movie. That's about like
it's like the biggest R-rated opening ever.
I was gonna say, I think it did. Whatever you said, it got to like $100 million for an R-rated movie that's about a scientist.
Yeah,
to be that big is fucking bananas. It's it's heavy and shit. Like I don't know if it's like a date movie if you're like younger and you just want to like have fun. Maybe it's not for you. I don't know, but it's a fucking dope movie. Gametime, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, is created by fans for fans. Gametime is the ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. And they guarantee the lowest price. We were able to go see some concerts this summer. I never thought we were going to be able to see Taylor. We got tickets because of Gametime. You got to pay what you got to pay, but you'll always have a ticket available. You'll always know that it's the lowest price possible. And also, if you get on it right away, you'll be able to sometimes get tickets up front or in a box or front row, whatever it may be, tickets that you never thought were possible because you didn't wake up exactly at 10 a.m. and go viral with all the bots and everything. You can get tickets that are the best seats of your life or the most affordable seats of your life, all because of Gametime's up to the millisecond technology that keeps the real time of the secondary market right there in your pocket. So it's all possible with Gametime, with the biggest last-minute price drops and the best seats you thought you could never buy. It takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds, and once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to share tickets via text, so you can get everyone into the game seamlessly. You don't have to show up at the same time. You don't have to worry about QR codes. None of that. Skip the hassle. Enjoy the moment. Download the Gametime app or go to the website. Enter your email and redeem code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's Gametime app, promo code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. And then there's Barbie, which stinks so much. That movie stunk. And it's not because I didn't get it. It's not because I'm a man who's threatened. It's just like, I get it. I'm not threatened. I think it's actually kind of like, it wasn't like this feminist thing. It was just like, okay, yeah, it sucks to be a girl because you have to live up to a bunch of different standards of society. But it's just like goofy people pretending to be dolls in a very corny and cliche, on purpose way. They didn't. The only problem with Barbie was the hype, because I went into it kind of being promised that it was like. When I first saw Barbie, I was like, "Oh, that's funny. It's like the Lego movie. Like we're gonna like make things that aren't real into a whole movie, and it's gonna be kind of whatever." And then there was that one executive who said, "Like, I'll stake my career on this, like being like the best movie ever." Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't. I guess so. There are some people out there impressed. If his quote was about selling it, then fine. If his quote was about like being a good movie, I'm like, I mean, come on, like. This is not going to like change movies. It's exactly what you probably think it is. It's the people acting like Barbies, and it's about how the real world and the Barbie world are like different, and how girls like have it tough.
The more
signed, sealed, delivered, tied it up in a bow. It's like that's it.
First of all, the thing that sucks about disliking it is everyone else who dislikes it. It's like, no, I'm not on your side.
Yeah, the Ben Shapiros of the world. If you don't like it because you're threatened by it, if you don't like it because you don't like pink, like all those stupid reasons, like you're a fucking asshole. I just don't like it because it's like it feels like you're watching like a TV movie. Like it was just like
it's very so there people think it's anti-man. If that is the case, I don't like it because it's not anti-man enough. It is. It's not. It's
during the big like feminist part. They even say like, and it's for you too, Ken. And they're like, oh yeah, it's about us also. It's like this is
as I've read reviews and tweets and things like that. People keep talking about the writing, and it's like it's so incredibly scripted and whatever. And like,
get it.
I've decided I'm either the smartest or dumbest person in the world. It's one or the other.
It's probably dumbest, but walk me through smartest.
Like there wasn't one thing in that movie to be considered like great writing and stuff like that. You have to show me a way to think about something that I hadn't already thought about.
Yes,
and it's
that's what I thought it was going to be.
It's like, what if things were switched? It's like, no, I've thought about that.
That's
before.
what I mean. It's like Barbie in Barbie world, women are king, queen, and then when she gets in the real world, she's like, wait a minute, like guys rule everything here. And then there's a bunch of like very kind of low hanging fruit jokes about like, oh, construction workers are over there. Let me like go say hi, because they love women. And then they catcall her, and she's like, what's going on here? It's like, okay, very like sledgehammer over the head with it.
Was there a joke that made and like I like to think when someone like makes fun of me, I'm like, oh, you motherfucker! I didn't feel attacked at all at any point where I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that kind of got me there. Like, was not even just like that got you particularly, but was there a joke that you went, oh, that's a good joke?
Actually, the only jokes that I laughed at, the only reason I knew it, there was a moment where they were going through other Barbie dolls, and I pulled my phone out real quick to Google if those were actually real Barbie dolls or not. The funniest parts of those movies are the little jabs at the failed Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
Like, Sugar Daddy Barbie is a real fucking doll that they named the dog Sugar, and so Mattel was like, technically, he's the daddy of Sugar, but we all know what adults are gonna like assume, and so they put that out, and it obviously had to get pulled, like, because that's fucking kind of weird, but like that was real. And then Alan was just discontinued because of his closeness to Ken. They were just like, that's gay, it's gotta go. Midge had
I didn't know Alan was real.
Midge was real. It was a pregnant Barbie that you could take the belly off, and it was the baby. And everyone was horrified by it. And then there was the growing up Barbie where you lifted her arms and it pumped her tits up. And those were all real, and they were all discontinued because of like controversy or people just being like, this is fucking
cancel
weird.
Culture, Kevin.
Back in the 50s. But I had my phone out and I was like, I just read that. Like, that's actually funny. If I didn't, so that's where if you're a Barbie fan, you probably
I actually get the nostalgia of it if you play with Barbie.
That's my thing. I get that we're not Barbie people, but it was presented that it was going to be like you don't need to like have played with Barbie dolls to love this, and I think you kind of do.
It is like I talked to some girls who were like, oh no, the nostalgia. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Like totally. Then it's like a football movie,
then
like a high school football movie.
That's
like, all right.
I have no problem with that, but just don't tell me like that. People saying that there was that tweet that said Ryan Gosling's expected to get nods for Best Supporting Actor. If he wins an Oscar for that,
I love Gosling, and he was great. He was great. Yeah,
but it's like it's just being like a spoof. It's a spoof movie. It's like watching like Not Another Teen Movie, where it's like every joke is like, oh, that's because of this trope, and that's because of that cliche.
But even like the jokes, I don't know when I'm told it's brilliant writing. Like there wasn't a joke where it's like, oh, God. There are definitely points where I laughed, no doubt.
Yeah.
But there was
the one scene that I remember, but not because it was like amazing, when America Ferrera like gives her big speech.
That's where I was finally like, fuck this, because it was
that
like
was so like that's where the writing should have like shined. And it was something I've heard a billion times.
If that was...
you have to be a mom, but you have to also be independent. And when you go to the working world, don't be too business-oriented because people then think you're a bitch. But if you're not strong enough, you're weak. And make sure you're sexy, but not too sexy because then you're a slut. And it's like, I've seen that in pop culture all over the place. That exact speech.
If that was just a part of the movie where it's like a throwaway line, then whatever.
But that's
the
moment.
That's what snaps them out of it. I was like, wait, you guys haven't thought about this before? Like, I've heard this a million times. I've heard this.
The old, like, do this, but if you do it too much, then you're that. Like that.
And it sucks. And I agree. And it sucks. And you're right.
And girls we went with were saying, like, but, like, the thing is, it really is like that when you're a young girl growing up. I'm like, got it. Not saying it's not. Just saying, I thought that there was going to be more, like, way more subtlety. Kind of like, oh, that represents feminism. And that represents the bad guy. And that, and it was just like, oh, nope. Big fucking symbolism. Smash you over the head. Like,
guys who play guitar at you are annoying. Like, that's been in movies for 40 years. And again, that being a major part of, like, the big thing
is crazy.
I was like, guys who play guitar are annoying. Yeah,
we know.
Even the song isn't good.
No, I hate it.
The song could be. Have you seen it yet?
No.
The song could be so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it could be this. I was talking with DJ Bean about it. I'm sure they had great stuff. Go listen to Brunch. And, like, I'm sure that could be just a massive, like even the way he's dressed is like a hairband. Like, that could be this massive song. It could be like, I love songs in movies.
It could be like their Peaches from Mario. Like, everyone could be listening to it and singing it, and it could have been great.
I don't even know anything, but maybe I'm just Ken. Yeah. Anywhere else I'd be attached. And, like, it sounds exactly. I didn't know Mark Ronson or Ralston, whatever his name is. I didn't know he was the producer and writer of all the music. It sounds exactly like that. It sounds like it sounds exactly like he did that. Mm-hmm. Where it could have been awesome and big and bombastic, which is the same word as big, but it is fucking. It's just it wasn't. And then, like, I walked out, I tweeted it, and I saw, like, Kroll replied to me, and he's like, because I was like, was that a kids movie? And he was like, no, and I saw that and I was like, I should clarify. I've seen the movie.
Yeah,
is it a kids movie? Because like it has a message. And
that's what it felt. It felt like Lego Movie, where it's like the kids are watching, but if you're an adult, you get the message.
Right. You know what it felt like? It felt like when I walked out of Joker, and I hated the Joker. I didn't hate the Joker, but I didn't like it. It's kind of like this, where, like, I didn't hate it, I didn't like it. It was fine, because, like, I got so annoyed at the end of the Joker when he's like, this is what happens when you mix mental illness with a society that doesn't care. Like, I got it. I watched the movie.
Like, message of the movie, message of the movie.
Like, every movie has a message, or every story has a message, but, like, when it's explicitly told to you, it's like infantilizing and childish. I was talking with Keegs about it, and she was like, I explained all this, and then she's like, no, it was blank, 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 blank. And I was like, yeah, no, I just said you just women-splained it to me. and I hold Greta Gerwig in such high regard. And I expected the writing to be so brilliant that I walked out of that movie and I called my mom and I was like, I didn't like it, but here's what they might have done. They might have dumbed it down so that men watching felt stupid, so they understood what mansplaining was. They might I did the Jordan Peele thing where
into a circle.
I projected something. I'm like,
actually, if she came out and was like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That was cool. That was cool. If that's John, you're brilliant.
I was like, I think
2 weeks, and then just came out and said, "Told you."
Yeah,
do you get it now? I'd go, "Oh fuck." I feel so embarrassed about this podcast, but I don't think that's it.
If that's what they did, it's genius. I don't think that's what they did, but I was like, I feel like I'm getting women-splained to right now.
I don't think they did because nobody else is saying that except for the smartest guy in the room right here.
Yeah, there it is. I'm either the smartest guy in the world or the dumbest guy in the world.
This guy knows the news, and this guy's got the themes. Because that's what it felt like. I was like, I wanted to stand up and scream at the screen. I get it. Yeah. But again, not because of, like, threatening. Like, yo, here's the thing. Sometimes I forget that we, like, live in a city. We live in, like, the Northeast. We grew up in a time where, like, I don't know. That shit just doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
When feminists talk about, like, guys sucking, I'm kind of just like, yeah, what? I don't know. I get that there's a whole swath the majority of the country who will be like offended and upset by that. But like, if you watch that movie and you feel threatened, you are the biggest pussy in the world. I can't even talk. Like, that's it. Moving on, because it's like once you see that movie where it's so jokey and so silly, if anyone walked out of it being like, "We need to stop this," like, holy shit, you need to kill yourself. But if that was the case, if it was one gigantic prank to go, this is what it feels like, then I'd be like, got it. But
if that was intentional, it's the most brilliant movie ever written. Because I walked out being like, do they think I'm a child?
That was cool. But you did that. If Greta Gerwig came out and said that, I'd be like, yeah, that shit was like brilliant. And, like, delete my podcast.
All right, you're right. It's brilliant writing because I felt like a fucking 5-year-old. But it didn't help that I had a 5-year-old. I had an aisle seat and a kid got up. First of all, by the way, like when I'm talking about, like, I'm not just talking about me. Like I watched it at a 4 p.m. showing in the East Village of New York City at a jam-packed theater. It's hard to find more like that's the target market.
Yeah,
people laughed, but like it wasn't like that. Like no one was like there was at least no one was saying with their laughter, this is a funny movie. Mm-hmm. And I also, to be fair in my judgment of it, I did take like a 10-15 minute nap, which not on a full night's sleep at 4 p.m. viewing. I shouldn't be falling asleep. Not a good sign. Not a great sign.
You know what I had at mine? Like a pack of 5, like 15-year-old boys got up and just left. I was like, that said more about society than this fucking movie ever did.
I had a little nap. I fell asleep like right when they're getting back to Barbie Land and they're doing like the Casa Dojos.
Yeah.
And I woke up like with like the
it's
fight.
Because they repeats it. It's Casa Dojo and Brewski Brew.
Yeah.
Don't you get it? It's funny because of that.
I woke up when he's like kicking her out or whatever. But at one point during the movie, there was a child in front of me, which again made me start be like, is this a kid's movie? There's a kid in front of me. And then there are kids. I was sitting on an aisle seat. There are kids across the aisle from me. And at one point, the mom just goes like, "I'm done trying to control this kid." Mm-hmm. And the kid, I have this weird. Kids are just like they don't get my aura. Like kids like just stare at me like, "What the fuck?" Right? Like kids
I can see that.
Kids stare at me like they look like does everyone else see this?
Like you know how like animals can sense danger.
Yeah.
Kids just are like,
bro. Every time a kid looks at me, it's very accusatory. I'm like, dude, fucking. Be cool. and at one
they don't know. Shush.
At one point, a kid stood up. Like I think they were one row in front of me, and the mom was just like, "I'm done." And the kid stood up and walked in a row back, and stood just for 5 minutes, and just stared at me. And I was like, "This is all going."
Like, wait, where was he staring at you?
Like, just I don't know if it was a him or a guy or a girl. Like, they had long hair and it was in a ponytail, but it was kind of in like a guy's fashion, so I couldn't really tell. It was dark in the theater. And
that seems like a weird boy thing.
Yeah. And they were just like, just staring, and I was like, just trying to not look back at him. I was like, don't look. I was just sitting there like, I was alone. I was like, this fucking kid's movie alone.
What a scene! I feel like it's like Billy Madison with the penguin. Like, stop looking at me!
Yeah. It's like, don't give him the satisfaction.
Wow, that must have been your Barbenheimer experience could not have been worse.
No, dude.
Didn't like Barbie, got stared down by a weirdo kid, and then couldn't even watch Oppenheimer.
And forgot my credit card at dinner in between. So I had to go back to East Village in a neighborhood that's inconvenient for me to get to pick up my credit card the next day.
I went to my old like high school, like where I went to the movies like when I was a kid. Clem came down, Bob came from Jersey, and they wanted to take like a Oppenheimer picture. We were gonna like smoke cigs.
Yeah.
So I was just like going to the movies and wearing like sweatpants, comfortable, and then I put on a button-up shirt, and I was like, I'll take the picture real quick first, then I'll change it into like a t-shirt or whatever. And we got there at different times, and then we didn't take the picture till after. So I'm standing there in a dress shirt and sweatpants like a dickhead, and my friends from high school were there, and they were like, "Oh, what's up, man? I haven't seen you. Just gotta say hello." And I was like, "How are you, dude?"
Things are going well, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it looked like you're down and out, like half in dress clothes, half in sweatpants. Like fuck. I know this movie theater drives me crazy. It always has. I should just stop going to it. But it's convenient. It's got the IMAX, and you wait online for concessions for like 40 minutes.
Bro, that's how this theater was too. I tweeted it. I was like, everyone should get concessions early because it's crazy.
So we get through our tickets, and Clem's wife was like, I'm going to try this line. And I was like, I'm going to try this line. And in my head, I was thinking, whoever gets there first, we'll just combine. But so Clem and his wife are waiting, and then as they get to the front, it's pretty clear they're going to get first. Bob shows up, and then I was like, I don't want to. They just added 2 people to there, then we're going to have an order of 6 people. Mm-hmm. So I can't do that anymore. And I was only 2 back from mine. So I was like, okay, you win. I'm just going to wait for mine. There's only 2 groups in front of me. The first group was a group of 4 dudes. And they all ordered and paid individually.
How old?
So this is where the debate comes in. They probably were like teenagers. But a 4 set, dude. All of a sudden, I now have 6 people in front of me. This theater always does it. It wasn't as blatant as that. Usually, it's because behind the counter are 4 people just doing like nothing. They just they're so slow to the point that I'm like, I can't say anything right now because I'll look like old man yelling at a cloud. But I'm absolutely justified if I was like, "What the fuck are you kids doing back there?" But every time this happens, and particularly with this one, because I realized what was about to happen, I daydream about saying, I will pay for all your stuff. Please just let me.
I was gonna say, why didn't you do that?
I feel like that's kind of an asshole thing.
It's kind of an asshole thing. I've done it like.
And there was also another group, so I was about to say, I will pay for all 4 of you and you guys if you let me go. But that just feels like.
It's kind of an asshole thing, but also like, I've done it before. I've done it with beers.
Oh, have you?
I've done it with beers, like at a game. If I was like I hear like puck drop, and I'm like, yo, I'll get you a beer. What do you want? And I just want to. But
that's more like. Hey, let's do this all at once.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of to be like, you guys are so fucking slow. I'm just gonna buy all your shit right now. I feel like it comes across, but I'm gonna start. I've learned this about myself. It's not all lines because I can sit in traffic. I can wait like in line to check out at the grocery store. Movie concessions, I go bonkers.
Mine's all lines.
Like I don't know what it is. Like I start like I was literally like this. Like I was like pacing, and I was like, "This is getting crazy. This is getting crazy, guys." And I was like, "Oh, I'm the crazy guy."
Yeah.
Like, but I was speaking so loud, and people were looking at me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't even know if I can go watch the movie right now. I think I might have to go home." And I was like an actual crazy person. But it seems to just be the movies. So it only happens. I don't go to the movies that often. Maybe because of that subconsciously, I can't do it. But yeah, that sort of shit is just like, it's how do we not know how to do this yet?
Have you seen the season finale?
Wait, real quick, back to how old they are. I get what you mean. Like when I was a kid, it used to be like, I'm gonna pay for my popcorn and my Coke. With the invention of like Venmo and all that shit, I don't know, man. Like you're not paying more money. It's not like we're doing it at dinner and there's gonna be a tip and all that shit. It's just like. Just shoot it to me, and if anything, that's the generation that should be able to do it.
Yeah. I would. I'm just thinking back to my own, but like if you have Venmo and stuff like that, it probably.
You're also paying in cash, so it used to be like we'd have to like pool our money together.
Yeah.
But I don't know when it went from 2 to 6, I lost it. I missed the first like 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
that sucks.
And I was at the point I was like, I don't care about the fucking Bunch of Crunch right now. But I was like, I've been here for 40 minutes, so what's 45?
And I'm going to be there for 3 hours.
Right.
I'll get hungry in my tummy.
For real. I mean, we did, I was ravenous when I got out. We were at the movies from like 4 to 10. It was crazy. So, yeah, that's the Barbenheimer debrief. Do you want to do your thing now, or should we just run through a couple like topics, or you want to? You tell me, because I feel like you're afraid to do your thing.
It's quick.
Okay. John has prefaced this as like, I got a thing, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And I'm like, dude, abortion clinics exist. Don't worry. Like, whatever it is, we can get through this.
Please, I'm like a Navy SEAL with that. I just do that shit you don't even know.
Jesus Christ.
I meant you guys don't know. Everyone else knows. In and out. I'm like the CIA. People only hear about our failures.
Bro, John. John's got a fucking one of those hole punch cards. 10th one's free. Oh, you're back? Preferred customer John, right this way. You don't have to wait on the line.
What is it with
Jesus Christ. Only hear about our failure.
If I ever a kid, it was a botched mission. They'll make a movie about it. Like, we need a government oversight.
Oh man.
It's like in Veep when I always forget his name. Dan Egan's he's getting an abortion with Amy, and he's like, "Whoa, was that the VagVac 3000?"
Let me tell you this: anytime you are comparing yourself in real life to Dan from Veep, you are a colossal piece of shit.
But the what was I gonna say? Okay, so issue
Johnny issue.
Wednesday night. I just recorded the longest podcast and worst podcast in history. I'm walking home. I'm like, I can't wait to just sit on the couch and be miserable and think about how bad I am at my job until it's time to go back to work. And I get a text, and it's from my cleaning guy. And he's like, "Hey, John, just got to the apartment. There's a key in the lockbox." And I was like, fuck. I completely forgot he was coming today. And also, why is he coming at 6:30?
Yeah, your guys always there at night.
I think I just say short. He knows to ask me because he knows I don't care, and I gotta start letting law down. Where I'm like, you gotta be there during the day.
Yeah, right. Next cleaning session is gonna be at midnight.
Well,
John laying the law down. That's what we call him. We call him Johnny Law because he lays down the law so often. Get the fuck out of here.
Here comes the issue. So so it's like 6:30, and I was just walking by a restaurant. I was like, you know what? I suck so bad, I'm going to treat myself to a steak dinner.
Oh.
So I went into Motel Morris, got a decent steak, and I ate alone at the bar and listened in on just the worst first date of all time. Like, it actually was. It should have been, like, Barbie should have just been this movie. The woman didn't say a word. The guy just talked about himself and how, I think he was like a founder of Bleacher Report. He definitely mentioned Bleacher Report a few times. Talked about how he failed out of law, or dropped out of law school, went out to California for a while, started this Bleacher Report. But then I Googled like the founders of Bleacher Report. He wasn't one of them, so he might have been lying.
Bro, what if we open a restaurant that's called Table for One / Bad First Dates? And all it is you're either on one side or the other. You have to have your first date there, but there will be people table for wanting it, just listening in on your date.
Dude, it was,
and you get your meal free. You'll get a steak dinner for free if you bring the date. But you just have to know that on the other side of the room is a bunch of solo guys or girls just listening. That's a great idea. Like if you're a young kid, you can't afford a dinner, like a nice dinner. It's like, listen, we're gonna go get like lobster and steak. It'll be for free. The only thing is, there's gonna be some weirdos listening to us. They think that we're gonna have a bad first date. It's gonna go great. Don't worry. It's gonna go terrible. And then on the other side, it's like, yeah, you have to like basically pick up their bill. Your steak is gonna be like, instead of $50, $100 because you're buying them, but you get to listen the whole time.
It was so bad to the point where, like, I was like, if this guy gets up, I'm gonna have to say.
You say something?
Like,
I've dreamed about that, leaning over and being like, "Get out of here, dude. She sucks," or whatever. You know?
I was gonna be like, look, just so you know, I'm not interested. I feel I'm not trying to steal you right now.
Right.
But the fact that you're still sitting here is insane. That dude sucks. Like, it was so bad. If you were Wednesday night. Last Wednesday, whatever the date was, if that was you at that bar, you fucking suck, dude. Like, you suck. Talking about his mutual funds and his workout habits. And, like, it was like, dude, I was here. It was the corner of the bar, and they were both sitting at like an end, and so I could hear everything. And it was like, and she didn't say anything. It was all I could hear was his voice the whole time.
A steak dinner. She didn't give a shit.
It was nuts. But anyway. Eating a steak dinner alone, it's pretty quick. Like, it takes about a half hour.
Yeah.
So I when I wasn't far from home, I had nothing. I didn't have anywhere else to go kill time. I was like, I'm just gonna go sit on the stoop across from my apartment
Because it's just like you can't even be in the apartment when he's cleaning.
I can't.
Yeah.
I've never been, but like I couldn't be. Like, when I was a kid and the cleaning woman would come, I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, this guy's the fucking man. We like met in person like
so
twice.
wild that he's even a dude.
Yeah. But he's so nice, and he's like he's just
foreign?
He's the best. I would guess so. His name's Angel. But like,
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
I would guess it's on hell.
Yeah.
And
Angel is so funny. What's up, Angel?
We'll bleep
Hey,
his
puppy.
name. And
No, give him some business. Let's go.
and so I sit on the stoop across the street from my apartment, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and like fuck around on my phone and just wait for them to leave. I wait like an hour and a half or so.
It's after dinner, so
yeah,
it's already
so it's like been like 2 hours. And then out of my apartment come...
Tell me he's fucking people in your apartment.
No, 2 children. One
child labor?
who appears to have a special need of some kind, because like the other one's holding his hand as they walk down the stairs to my apartment. And I was just like, what the fuck? So now...
Cue the music and the black screen with the white writing, the gang does child labor.
So now, like, fire is not the right word, but like, I want a new cleaning person so bad.
Wait.
But like,
why? Because you think that he's...
I'm very uncomfortable with the idea of children cleaning my apartment.
I think he might just be bringing them along.
They were carrying stuff.
They might have to carry their weight a little bit. I've just seen so much of that. It's so sad, the state of like childcare, because you either need to pay for crazy daycare or nanny or whatever, and you can't afford it. But there's a lot of people, I think, who bring their kids on the job, whether you're like, I mean, I see it like the cashier at the restaurant or like the place I'm getting food. There's just like her kids are in the back doing homework or whatever.
I hope they're just watching TV. I don't know.
You can't. I mean, listen. This is quite the predicament. On the one hand, you are providing a opportunity to make children work, like force them into child labor.
Yeah.
On the other hand, that means they fucking need it, bro.
That's exactly my predicament.
Yeah. That is quite the predicament.
And to your statement about like they just kind of hate you out. The mom or a woman sits in a van with the hazards on in front of my apartment
The whole time.
So like they could just sit in the van.
So they are cleaning.
So they're cleaning.
How old are we talking?
It's not crazy young, but like 13, like 10 to 13.
I've had a cleaning lady bring their son along, and they were like 15, and he was huge for his he was like
not
my
huge.
size. And I like gave him sneakers and shit like that. I was like, you want some of these clothes? You can take this. You can take that. Like, get this shit out of here. And he was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah. Child labor is a touchy one.
Like I can't. All right. Like what do I do? Because you're right. Like that's exactly what I was like. Well, clearly,
if they, I'll tell you what's worse than than that is like you're at home with a fucking.
They want to talk to you about Barbie.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Are you guys recording?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's okay.
Oh my god. I'm eating a protein bar.
I wish you came in like 5 minutes earlier. We just finished.
I-
Wait, no,
Before-
you go there.
Before
wait,
we
there's no
get
mic on
into
that.
it, what's your stance on child
I only
labor?
have 5 minutes.
Okay.
What'd you say?
What's your stance on
Child
child labor?
Oh, I mean, how helpful is the kid?
I don't know.
Let's just
How
say
old is he?
hypothetically you saw your cleaning person come out of your apartment with 2 children in tow, like carrying all
Were
the
the
cleaning
kids?
stuff.
Oh, but were the kids helping their their mother? Carry-
Father.
Cleaning lady.
Father.
I said cleaning person.
You said person. Men are gaslighting. What did they say? Cleaning lady.
I absolutely said person. No, I didn't. Run it
said
back.
cleaning
I
lady.
specifically said cleaning
up.
person.
No, okay. I thought it's person, but I thought you said lady, so I was like, well,
Yeah,
you said
exactly,
lady.
because
Because you said it.
No, because this is how you just see the world, and you just assume things.
As
You
someone
assume
dressed,
gender. You
as
assume
someone
gender.
dressed as a lesbian, you look like Rachel Sennett in the Bottoms trailer.
I don't get that reference.
Oh, you got it? Okay, sorry that this is so far away. They don't let women speak very often, so it's really hard for me to understand how to hold a microphone.
That microphone sucks. When we have interviews, I'm like always like.
So I'm so sorry to everyone. Okay, and we also have a timer, so we only have a minute and 30 seconds.
No, we blew past that a long time ago.
Wait, so you guys didn't like the Barbie movie? I'll listen. I'll hear you.
Here's the
I'm
deal.
Just holding
well, first of all, it's not feminist enough. That's the main.
It's not anti-man enough. It is. That's. I'm being genuine. It is. I thought it was very like broad.
But feminism isn't anti-men.
I agree. Mine is like I don't think the writing at any point made me go, oh, I didn't think of it like that.
That's insane.
That is that's crazy.
What part did you think was profound? That like we've
America
never heard
Ferrera's
before.
monologue?
That was the worst part.
We just got finished talking about
That was the worst part?
Have you guys not thought of that?
I've heard that.
We have, but you haven't. That's the thing.
We've never seen someone able to say that because here's the deal.
Do you not listen to Token CEO?
I worked on it.
I have heard that same speech a billion times before, like from random like Twitter users. You can't be you got to dress sexy, but if you dress too sexy, you're a slut, and you got to be in the business world. But if you're
get it, like,
but you don't
get it.
This movie isn't for you.
So somebody seeing it, they're like watching it and they're feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I have to say.
You saying you've heard the words doesn't mean that you've comprehended that.
I've absolutely comprehended.
No, but
I think Greta did it on purpose.
I think so. So this is our theory, and this would actually make it
and then
brilliant.
I have something to say after.
If Greta Gerwig comes out in 2 weeks and says, "Gotcha, bitches. This is what it feels like to be mansplained because I hit you over the head with how obvious this all is," then I would be like, "This is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard."
This isn't about you, number one. So this isn't about you guys. You have a daughter, and eventually she's going to be like, "I love comedy," because she's around comedy all the time, and you're so funny, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I love comedy." She's eventually gonna realize that. She's gonna go to watch comedy, and it's gonna be Vince Vaughn and Jonah Hill, and even if there's funny women in the movies, all of like the movies are like them on the Judd Apatow. They're all run by men, and then we do have some blockbusters. Okay, we have Bridesmaids, we have that.
Busters.
Yeah. But we don't have like this like when you go to show her your favorite movies, how many of them have like women as the lead on the poster?
Okay, so it's representation.
1,000,000%.
Okay, that's fine.
If you say that we finally got a big blockbuster,
and
cool.
the message,
But the message is very basic.
No. Okay, then how many other movies have the exact same message?
I think that, I don't know.
I wouldn't say movie as a whole. I would just say that part's been said before.
Yeah.
In what movie?
I can't think of specifics because I hear it so often. And I don't disagree with it. Like it's
do you
right.
think maybe you hear it so often because it's not echoed in society, so it's like we have to keep saying this because we haven't gotten it across. Also, like,
but that's fine. But then it's not like that's super original.
It's not like
it's like a brilliant
Okay,
script.
then why do you
what
think?
was said there is not ground.
I'm not saying.
Well, that's how this
then,
movie was portrayed to me. Being
I think
like,
it was
what's
groundbreaking.
coming out. Yeah, like
because there's no other movies like that.
crazy.
Like when you're like, and
you
I
might
hate
be
to
right
say
that
your
there's no
daughter
other
because it
movies,
sounds a little
but,
manipulative, but like when a young girl like goes to watch movies, how many movies are there where a stunningly beautiful woman like Margot Robbie is like told that like you're not your looks? You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. But that's just not like I was expecting. I heard a lot about the writing. I thought the writing was going to be better. But if it's a representation,
I have not seen a movie that funny in a while.
See, I
have not seen a movie that funny. And you want to know why? Maybe because all comedy's geared towards men. Maybe.
Can we
have this one?
I'm not talking about my
if you
opinion.
Didn't have a connection to this because of like its message, I don't think you would find that funny.
Oh, I thought it was.
What was so funny?
When the Supreme Court joke, when they see the Miss USA and they go, "Oh my God, the Supreme Court!"
That
was hilarious.
That was funny.
The construction site.
The Lizzo song in the beginning.
It's so funny because we just talked about all these things.
I thought the Lizzo song was. Yeah, I think it maybe just wasn't for you guys.
And also, I watched it in a jam-packed
I don't go to
theater.
Black Panther and say, "Oh my God, I hated this." Like it didn't relate to me.
I didn't say I hated it. I just said it wasn't like I didn't really like it. It wasn't great. I also said it with Black Panther. If you're trying to tell me Black Panther's a groundbreaking movie in like the cinematic form, I don't know it wasn't. But I also watched it in the theater. It was like, it's pretty cool to see representation.
Okay, so how many like black superhero movies are there?
Well, again, if we're talking representation, it's a completely different story.
Yeah,
you're right.
But
how is that not groundbreaking in cinema?
I
don't think I'm talking right.
I'm trying.
I wouldn't say it's
hilarious. If I can't think
hilarious.
of it, then the point. Then
but
your
also,
point is made.
even
But
the
it's like
set, I
we've
felt
had
like was
like heroines.
groundbreaking.
We've had stories of like even if it's done in like a comedy way where it's like your looks aren't like everything like that. I don't know. I feel like there's movies about that. Like your looks aren't everything.
So I might not know what I'm talking about at all. But I would imagine it's like the theme of the father-son relationship occurs throughout all media, movies, all the time, and like. it's something that maybe to other people who don't understand the father-son relationship, blah, 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 it'd be like, okay, yeah, we've heard this a million times, but if you have gone through that, you know, like, you're feeling it, and then you're watching it on screen, and, like, it's going to bring emotions because you're like, I went through that.
That was that funny in the last 5 years that passed the Bechdel test.
Right.
The what?
The Bechdel test, you probably don't know what it is.
No, I do. I know. Yeah, that, I mean.
I don't.
It's where, like, if there are more than 2 women on screen at once talking.
Not about a man.
Not about men. So, like, no men are on screen, and they're not talking about any man.
Okay.
Like,
So I have to go, but I love Barbie.
Okay, we love Barbie. No, like I saw like No Hard Feelings and I thought it was like funny, but Barbie was so much funnier.
I watched Barbie, and this is like my thing for the funny. I watched it 4:00 Thursday, packed theater in the East Village.
Like, it wasn't, like, roaring laughter.
There was like
I thought
were
it
you,
was
like,
really
howling
funny.
laughing?
Okay,
it was the theater laugh, but like no one was like, "Oh."
What's your favorite, like, funny movie?
I really have to think about that. Well, like my favorite movie of all time is Ferris Bueller, but I wouldn't say that that's like the funniest movie I've ever seen. I love like Wedding Crashers. I like all those movies. I like
And you thought this was funnier than those?
in a lot of ways, yeah. Oh, I did.
That's not a ringing endorsement. That's not.
Okay, so but it wasn't. I didn't think like the idea of the movie like it had more heart than Wedding Crashers.
I feel like if you were to just watch these 2 movies and say which one is funnier and not talk about representation,
I agree
or the Bechdel
that
test and all
one's
that, you
probably
wouldn't be
funnier.
like that's fine.
But that's not what I'm trying to say. That's not my point.
All right.
My point is that it was funny. Period.
I disagree with that, but you should have 2 different opinions on
You
funny.
can definitely have 2 different opinions.
So I think it's more about.
I don't think it's the funniest movie ever.
I
I think it was funny. Period.
I laughed a few times, but
And it was the funniest movie I've seen. New movie I've seen in like years.
If you're telling me that
I don't see
it was
funny in theaters a lot because it doesn't get made a lot. But
well,
like,
it doesn't get made a lot at all.
How,
Yes, that's
like
so true.
the comedy, the like blockbuster comedy, just has disappeared.
And sometimes the comedies that like are like comedies you like go and you're like,
that's not. Yeah, it's more like a rom.
I definitely think there's funnier movies. I bet Wedding Crashers is funnier. I definitely believe that. But my point is that it's funny.
If you want to tell me
I laughed at times.
And it holds a candle to most comedies right now.
If you want to tell me that it's important that as a girl and for little girls that they see that and that scene resonates with them, cool. Then you're right. Like, it's not a movie for everybody, but it was kind of portrayed as it was going to be this like cultural thing. And it's like I thought if you don't have the Barbie nostalgia, you miss out on a lot of like the references and jokes.
Always
and if you're not going to be, though. Yeah. But again, maybe it just depends on the build up to it. Like some of the shit I heard.
But even the soundtrack is girly.
Is what?
Is girly. Like I think it was always marketed towards girly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like even
I'm a guy who laps
like a lot of girly shit,
and
we're probably bigger feminists than you are.
I was pretty disappointed with the soundtrack.
This podcast right now. It's not looking good.
I feel like
you said the Lego movie was better. What are you talking about?
I'm saying that it was very like it was similar in that it was like very heavy-handed. Like it's Legos and they're not real, but they're doing like having real-world discussions about the toy world versus the fake world.
Wait, can I tell you some things that
very
I really liked though about
it?
I liked the Barbie world wasn't CGI at all. They created that whole set. That set was unreal.
But
like
now we're talking about different things. Like I would never.
Wait, but
I would
how's
never
that
say
different? It's the movie. Or you want to talk about the scripts?
Yeah, like I don't really care about like sets and stuff like that. Yeah, that is amazing. Like, and I thought, I thought the marketing behind it and the pink everywhere, like that's all very cool. I would never knock.
So just the script is what we want to talk about. Just the script.
I would think, yeah, I guess so.
I feel like okay, just talking about the script. I felt like from the beginning when like they're doing the Barbie is like she's like testifying in front of Congress and she's like, I am able to share my emotions and my logical feelings without mixing like all I felt it was
I thought that was like smash you over the head with a sledgehammer.
No, I thought that was like so on the note. Like I thought it was so funny.
But on the note, like, and maybe what Jackie's saying is right that like I was saying because I was saying that like I forget sometimes. I was talking about the guys who are like threatened by this and offended by it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was like, I forget sometimes that
because why
we live in a
supporting
city
women woke?
And we're in the Northeast and we're like relatively progressive and all that, and there are huge swaths of the country that will be like, what is this? And so I was like, I got to remind myself of that.
So maybe
there are people who like have never like would never think of that joke that like that's funny because most people think that women can't like think logically without emotion, blah blah blah. Like I guess there might be people out there going like, oh shit, I never thought of that. But to me, I was like, I get it, guys. All of this is
But
very
anytime you like
basic
share
level
your
shit.
emotions and like you talk passionately, like it's like, oh, you're being emotional.
Right, but
and
I
so
feel like
it's
I've
like
heard that. I've heard that if in the business world, if you like
I
stand
know,
your
but
ground,
you're
you're a
constantly
bitch.
hurt- you constantly hear
dress
it.
too, if you want to be sexy, but that makes you a slut, and that if you get excited about something, you're emotional. Like
I think
I've
if
heard
there-
Kelly Keeks. I mean, like if I heard it from people here, I've heard
and I hear
this
it every
before.
day about myself. I hear that you're saying that you're tired of hearing like
I'm not tired of
no.
hearing
I'm not
it.
tired of
I'm
hearing
just
it.
saying-
I'm
I
saying
hear
I
it
have
towards
heard of
me
it,
24/7. Like I think that if there was a movie that was like about like men being able to like, you know, show their emotions and be vulnerable and like be able to like, you know, share their
I think that
body
would probably
image
be more
issues.
groundbreaking than this.
That's what I'm trying to say. That would be a
Yeah.
movie geared towards you, towards like all the things that men struggle with. But this, you're saying yourself that there's like controversy about the Barbie movie. So like, how is it not groundbreaking if there's so much discord about it? Like, how is it?
I feel like there's been more discord about all these things we talked about than if there was a movie
No.
that really talked about how guys can't like feel emotion and they nailed it well.
How about
I think
every
that would
sports
be more.
movie?
That's not real. Sports movies are
movies aren't
not
real.
about like how men can't feel like express themselves emotionally without feeling inferior or whatever. Like,
But there's a lot of emotions in sports movies. Like a
Yeah,
lot
but-
of emotions in sports movies.
Like
Like
the
they're very
world
emo-
kind of catered to men's.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
sorry.
Like it's like
But not-
everything. Like we have to find the pieces that we like out of the things that are already like the Ken part where he's walking around and it's like I think that some of the things that people don't understand about like women and how we feel is like a lot of you guys get it. Like you're like, oh yeah, we get it. You guys want to feel this way. We get it. We hear you. But it's like that doesn't mean there's representation for it.
Okay,
Yeah,
like,
so
that's
I think
fine.
we're
When
all
he
talking
walks
about different
around-
things.
the representation is
When he walks
a valid
around
point.
and he sees like JFK and he just sees like all the men, it's like, and then even they're like, yeah, we do hire women now, but, and then he's like, okay, so it's not the patriarchy, and he's like, no, we're just a little bit more discreet about it. That's like how it like kind of feels like it's like, yeah, okay, in comedy, like, okay, for example, like, not to like drop this on you guys, but I got JFL.
Oh, congratulations!
And thank you so
Congrats.
much. And a coworker I dearly love said like, "Oh, did Sass and Francis get it?" And I was like, "I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think so." And he was like, "Well, it's probably easier because you're a girl." Okay, no. And I dearly love this coworker. But what I have to say,
Like coworker here.
yeah, like it happened 15 minutes ago. But what I have to say is like, okay, but hear me out.
So I dropped that name.
No, I'm not going to, because this is a really good person. But what I have to say is,
Barbie would drop that
no,
name.
I actually don't think so. I actually don't think so because Barbie was after Ken did all that stuff to Barbie. Barbie goes, "I feel bad." Do you remember that part? And I was like, "Girl, we've all been here." But what I was gonna say is like, okay, regardless of how you feel about that, as a woman, you go to a show. You're the only woman on the lineup. You're one of two women on the lineup. How many women did you guys have at that Barstool Chelsea show?
We had one trans woman.
Okay, so you had one trans woman. How many men were on that lineup?
4.
And I know there's more men comedians than women comedians, but this is constant. Every movie post, and there's even hilarious women in the movie, but it's like they're always the leads. And like you could say that they write them, but then why are they the only ones writing them? Like it's not like there aren't women in comedy or women who like, and even if there's like Tina Fey in her book, or no, was it in her book? But Tina Fey said like we can't have who's the best until we fix the issue of like discouraging so many people. Do you know what I mean? And like I guess my point is like it's not about like people not understanding, it's about the fact that there's still no representation for it. And also like obviously like women aren't the only ones who feel this way. Like obviously like I mean we have a lot of people with like, you know, we have a lot of ableism, and we have a lot, and not to be like the woke liberal, the angry woke liberal lady from that Steve Carell movie show that was sucked on Netflix. You guys know what I'm talking about? Space whatever.
Oh, so bad.
They had the angry woke woman. Do you know what I'm talking about? She was like supposed to be
I
gay.
don't
Made
because
that
that
far
movie,
into
That
that
show
show, I Men in Black that from my brain.
I know, it's so bad.
That cast, I was like so excited for that, and that was like the worst thing I've ever
And I
watched.
also like hate to come on here because it's not like you guys are gonna like fight back at this, because then it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like if I'm like pulling like,
everything you're saying is true.
but I think it's okay to not like.
And
the
I
Barbie
also
movie.
don't think I think there's something to be said for if the thought was like Barbie
Guys, my
is
protein bar that I didn't eat because I came in here. I'm sorry. It's disgusting.
if the thought was like Barbie needed to put on for all of these representation, women in comedy, the little girls growing up, the girls who never movies aren't geared towards them, and so they did this like massive thing where everything was kind of like every joke was kind of on the nose a little bit and like not subtle because they wanted to fucking be on
and
the
if
map,
you
then
hate
I would
these
get it.
movies,
But I just
let us make them, because then we'll chill out. Like, we just have to, like, do them. You know what I mean? We have to, like, have the representation so that we can be like, okay, we did it. We told everyone that they could be beautiful regardless of their size. It's not wrong to want to be beautiful. It's not wrong to want to achieve beauty, but it's just such a small percentage of what a woman is.
And I agree with all that. And again, you can't really have debates because, like, we agree with what you're saying.
Exactly.
If you listen to what we were talking about the script mostly.
No. And also, like, sorry I'm hijacking this podcast.
No, it's fine.
No, it's good.
But also part of that, like I saw Keeg's tweet, like, no one asked you. But part of a massive movie being made is other people are going to have opinions.
Yeah.
Totally, but I think that there's a way to, like, say your opinion. Like, I think this is great. I think the message is good. I just saying, like, you guys feeling like you've been hit over the head with this message. Totally hear you. There was a super nice ally sweetie pie boy out there who said that to me. Like, these things still constantly happen, and, like, you know, you guys might walk out here and say something that, like, literally is like a girl's like, again, it happened. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what it is. It's like we'll stop saying it when it gets fixed.
But it's not. I'm not saying stop saying it. Say it as much as you want. It's just I'm saying
you still want it in your movies.
No, what I said was if for me to say a great script, I have to see something that I hadn't gone. Oh yeah, before.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in this movie.
Like, there was nothing that I don't think I've ever.
But there's never been a movie about like a live action movie about a toy.
But that's we're talking about something different. You're talking about like the movie as a whole.
I'm talking about the social message.
Not even a social message. Just like sometimes I'll hear a great joke on stand up in a show. And I'm like, oh, that's a great way to portray it.
So
I didn't see that.
What are you not seeing in the movie that's like not a great way to portray it? Like women rights?
All of it was just like, yeah, no, I thought of it like that.
I think.
What other movie did you see that you felt that way? That you saw that you were like, oh, that's it.
I can't think of it in my
moment.
Like sometimes you was watching a stand-up set, you go, "Oh, it's a great joke."
That's your point.
That's
I get it.
Way.
But like that big America Ferrara scene. If you want that,
I'm not even talking about just with women. I mean like any kind of joke. We're like, "Oh, I never thought of it that way. That's great."
Yeah, I just think
I expected a lot more subtlety, and if they wanted to be not subtle on purpose, then that's fine too. But like that America Ferrara scene. If that's important for a little girl to hear,
I think it definitely
and you want to just be like straight on, then fine. But then but I'm also like, then it's not for me. Then my opinion doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, as a viewer, I was kind of like,
and that was you referenced Black Panther. That was my same opinion of Black Panther. I was like, it was it was a fine action movie.
Right.
Like it wasn't just a great movie. It was fine
to their culture, but as a movie for me, it was like
fine.
It was just
so okay. Personally, I do not like gore or violence in movies. Like I just like I'm a really squirmish person. Like I don't like body things at all. So who's that guy who makes all of those movies? Super talented. Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino makes amazing movies. Not for me. I love him. I think that like he's really creative. I think he definitely deserves to like all the success because he really is like one of a kind. Not for me. Don't like the movies. But I don't go and be like, the movie's bad. Like, it's just not for me. It's just not.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean,
it's just not for me.
Well, first of all, like, yes, on a very real level, I'm like, it's okay if you like this movie and I don't. I'm gonna give you my take is like I would never watch that movie again because I didn't find it funny.
Totally.
So
I hear what you're saying. I think that
it's
like
a little bit like bland
to
just if everything when we give our opinions on the internet was just like, here's how I feel, but like. That you know what I mean? Like I can say that about everything.
I know.
This is not for me, and I don't like it. But if you like it, it's okay. What we do here is say like, I liked it, I didn't like it.
I think if I would defend Kevin, I would say you're more bombastic on the internet.
Totally, I totally get that, but that's where I'm like
I walked out of the theater.
But why is it okay to talk about women?
I walked in going, I was like, I knew I wasn't gonna like this movie. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this movie, and I said that going in. And as we walked out with the group of people I was with, they were like, but you didn't hate it as much as you thought you were gonna, right? And in that moment, I also
think seeing Oppenheimer first was a wild move. I do think that taints.
I wonder.
The movie.
We were talking about if you do it the other way around.
Because people said to do it the other way.
Oppenheimer, like,
I did think that when I watched your video, I was like,
yeah.
You saw Oppenheimer first.
I tried.
People were
Barbie
saying
first,
to go see Barbie first. I was thinking that, but also
that way you finish with a good movie.
Okay,
but in that moment, to your point about like and what he was saying, in that moment, people were like, "You didn't hate it as much as you did, right?" And I said, "Yeah, you're right. Like it was fine."
I know, I hear
but
you.
But inside, I was like, "I hated that."
When there's something that's very successful,
I think I'm probably in the minority, and it like smashed and is a huge success.
Yeah,
and, like,
I really hate also like how everyone's like, "Oh, it's so woke." It's like I really don't get the part
I don't
where
get that either.
Girls being like us supporting women is so woke.
But I also don't even think either way. Like I wish I saw. I found like one tweet, and it was just like a random person, so it didn't have a lot of traction. But they were like, it was just like a fun summer movie. Like it's not. So, I don't think it's brilliant genius. I don't think it's threatening the patriarchy. I think it's just like this funny, fucking goofy movie.
Oh, I think it was so good. I really do think people. Okay. there's something when you were like, I've heard this before. Something that does come to mind is that you're here with like all of these women who are like, and you see the comments and you're like, oh, this is hard. Like, it's crazy because these, the girls who work here are all like, honestly, they're all beautiful and like classically beautiful and like conventionally beautiful. And it's like to see comments about like weight or looks or like things like that. It's like just so wild because these people would never say it in real life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're here and you see that and you totally like agree. For a man who doesn't work in media or entertainment.
Yeah, this might blow them away. Yeah.
Seriously.
Right.
Because it's like.
And that I get.
Because when I was on someone's podcast and I made a comment about how you can't be too thin because if you're too thin, people like say this, but you can't be too big. And then like there's like judgment from other women even. And I put that, it was clipped from the podcast. It was put on TikTok, viral for the wrong reasons. Everyone in the comments is calling me a bitch. Everyone's like, of course, a skinny blonde woman can say that. Mm-hmm. No, this is like every woman deals with this. But it's like, but basically my point is like, you might have a much different perspective than like,
90%
any other guy.
Yeah, so and that's where like
smartest guy in the room.
That probably.
So I do think that might change a little bit for you, but I am
would say this. So like I probably if I was like thinking more about it deeply in that video rather than just say it's bad, my message should have been it's not for me, or I already understand these things, or my opinion is that it was like.
And you're entitled to have your opinion, obviously.
But I also think there probably was an opportunity. Like, I just walked out of there going, like, okay, that was kind of, like, the way to... I think there was an opportunity to do it, like, a little more subtle, clever, and whatever, where I would have been, like, it got that message across, and it was, like, wow.
Yeah, I don't
But maybe they didn't want to go subtle and wow. Maybe they wanted it to be, like, hey, fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And But then, if that was the case, you'd have to admit that it's a little more, like... in your face and like a sledgehammer, you know what I mean? I mean, I get what you're doing now.
I think it's more of a movie. It's more than a movie.
But that's
more than
well,
a
we're
movie.
talking about the movie.
Yeah, I know, but it's like
I just will say like I think that like
do you hear where I'm coming from?
No, I hear what you're coming from. I think like they're like right
I know,
now
I
it's just
what
like
they're saying.
it's the thing. No. I'm saying like it's like right now it's like all the women like we're going to the theaters, we're dressing up in pink. It's like our moment right now.
Yeah.
And but I like that you guys have your opinion and are giving your opinion, but obviously we're gonna come back with our
because we're like having our thing and we're like so empowered. We're leaving the theater. We're like, oh my god, I feel amazing. Like I love women. And then it's like, you guys can't let us have this.
Yeah,
No.
We shouldn't have.
But I think you guys should be able to give your opinion. We're not.
No, I totally, and I think you guys should be able to give your opinion.
Yeah, I think then.
But then we're gonna come back with our opinion
right,
too.
But I think that what you want then is like niche indie movies that you guys will go see and like. But if everybody watches them, they're gonna have dissenting opinions.
No, but that's my point. It can't be a niche indie movie because there has to be representation.
Right, but then there's going to also be discourse about it,
and
about
there's
the
gonna be
script, and about
and there's gonna be responses to the discourse.
Totally fine.
And
but
there's gonna be
to act
responses
like
to the response to the discourse.
Totally, but then to act like you are above me and I'm not getting it and I'm not smart.
This is your show. I'm on your show.
You literally just said I can't help you.
Yeah,
like
I can't.
you're beyond. Like that is a condescending tone.
I don't think I'm beyond you. I don't think I'm beyond you.
That you're assuming that I don't get what you're talking about, and I do get it. I'm not saying that I can understand your feelings. I'm not saying that I go out there every day and try to fix these things. I'm not maybe as proactive as everyone should be. I get it.
Okay. I believe that you get it. I do.
I don't think you do. I think 30 seconds ago just showed you didn't.
Yeah,
but
I don't know
okay
if I
too.
do, to be honest.
That's okay too.
But like I also have another thing I want to say about, and you guys didn't say this, obviously, but there's like a big thing on the internet where it's like, oh, I didn't like Barbie because I can't relate to Barbie, like from guys. Like I didn't get it. I can't relate from it. How are you guys relating to the Joker though? Like not you guys, but like how are you know what I mean?
I specifically referenced that movie. I didn't like that either.
You didn't like that movie?
I think that there is when there's something like Barbie is more nostalgia necessarily than relating to. I think that it's like if you played with Barbie and Barbie was in your life, you go, oh, I had that one, I didn't have that one, or whatever. I think something like I think all movies, like why people you can watch like murderers and fucking war and things that you haven't been through is I think that you like on some level have had thoughts or have thought about having thoughts like that or acting that way or whatever. Whereas Barbie is like a thing that you either played with or you didn't.
I think that is exactly what you just said. Like you had thoughts, you didn't have thoughts. You know how many thoughts I've had about like, oh, one day I'm too thin, next day I'm too fat, one day I'm not good enough. Like
those are and that's what Barbie like. The
Like, it's
thoughts
so
that they
embarrassing
put in.
because I get emotional about Barbie. It's so good. Like, and I'm obviously like not really upset with you guys, but like this is so embarrassing, KFC.
No, it's
but
not.
no, it's so good.
I
But
do
like,
get that.
how you feel about like you're talking about the Joker, like, oh, you have like these dark thoughts, you can relate to them. Like, that's how Barbie's changing the world. Like, really, like the America Ferrera thing. Like, you guys hear it all the time, but it's like, but you feel this way constantly.
Yeah, no, I that's where I get that it's like just because maybe I've heard it doesn't mean that it's not very true and very difficult.
But you know what? Similar to Barbie, I can articulate my feelings logically while being emotional.
I didn't want to say it. I was gonna get in a lot of trouble there.
No, you're not in
But
trouble.
it is funny.
No, I don't think you're in trouble at all. And I do think your ideas and also like your tone of voice, like
so happy.
you're iconic.
See, you get it.
You're
you get
iconic
it.
because you're like aggressive on the internet, and like I totally hear you.
That
And
was
emotions
funny.
are beautiful, and emotions are powerful. And also, you know what? Like, I kind of do wish that they had touched. You know how Ken gets like emotional when he like cries at that one part. I kind of wish that they had touched on that a little bit more because I do think men need a
I
video.
think they should have fucking kicked him in the face.
Well, yeah,
Shut
I
the
know,
fuck up,
I know,
Ken.
but
I
well,
thought the men's stuff was so like again like it was like basic stuff where like guys who play guitar are annoying. It's like yeah, no, I know.
the Matchbox 20 thing is so funny.
I did fall asleep for a little bit.
Oh my god, no! I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Oh, your crusade put me to sleep.
I think that like,
which isn't a good sign for the movie. Again, we're repeating ourselves a lot. I already said that
I
on the
can't
show,
wait to
but
text Keegs that I cried on KFC about Barbie. I really can't. But I do think like, oh damn it, I do think there needs to be more. First of all, like men in like body image issues or like men in like there needs to be movies about that. Like I don't think like anyone is questioning that. I think men need to be raised like in a way like I don't think men need to be raised. I don't think like all men are bad, all men are rapists, all these things. Like I do think like someone said this one time and you guys might hate this, but it's like not all men but always a man. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
not all men are rapists, but it's like always a man. Like you know what I mean? But I do think
not
like
in my life.
yeah, okay. Yeah. But like I feel like
That's a bit of an inside joke. I get raped occasionally.
yeah, it happens.
Often.
But what were you wearing?
I was asleep, man.
He was literally not asking for it. He was asking for the opposite of it.
But I do think like there definitely needs to be movies like that for men. And they need to be comedies because like that and they need to be in a language similar to how Barbie was in a language that women wanted to hear it. Like if Barbie was that message was given to us and it was like a political thing and it was like all serious, we wouldn't want it. There needs to be stuff like that in comedy for men, like 1,000,000%. Like, and I'm here for it, and I'll buy a ticket, and I'll wear whatever men wear to the movie about depression.
I wore pink.
Yeah, like I'll wear sad boy merch for the movie about funny depressed guys. Like I'll do it. Like
There's
I'm
a lot
in.
of those.
I'm 1,000%
That's like
in.
all of them.
But no. I'm leaving here. I'm leaving here loving you guys more than I came in.
Okay, come here.
I don't know if I believe you, but that's
really
okay.
I really am. Because when I saw your video, I was like, KFC, what the fuck? But I really am leaving here like I'm hearing you guys. I am.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted to
think-
be heard. That's all I wanted out of my Barbie.
No, I know. But I think that this is just like, honestly, it's just, there's just differences between different types of people. There's differences between men and women. And you know what, guys? Thanks for going to Barbie.
You got it.
Thank you
Thanks
guys
for coming
doing
on.
it. I think you should have gone to Barbie first.
I went to Barbie first, and then I didn't see Oppenheimer.
You didn't?
No, the sound sucked, so I left.
Oh, because you
did
didn't
you
see
see
it at the
Oppenheimer?
Lincoln Center one.
Yeah.
No, because I just came in town yesterday. I didn't have enough time. And then I'm leaving for Montreal like tomorrow.
Hey, let's go.
Okay, no,
Congrats,
really,
that's
I'm
awesome.
leaving here loving you guys more. I really, guys, they're good guys. All the comments are like, no, we know, we hate her.
Now you're good.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. So
What do I
child labor.
do about my kids? What do I do about the kids who are cleaning my apartment?
I think you have. Here's your solution, and you're not gonna like it. You have to keep them on board and just pay him more.
Oh, buddy. Dude's buying a house tomorrow.
John's gonna throw stacks the next time this guy.
There have
cleans.
been 3 separate instances where the pay kicked up. You've been in my apartment before.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the answer of what it is I pay per hour and a half to 2 hours it takes to clean.
It's just saying. Who
Well, I
fucking
want you to
cares?
guess.
Per hour.
No, I just Venmo him once afterwards.
Right. So it's just like come clean this place.
Yes.
New York City, $150.
Okay, exactly double.
Oh. I thought you were about to say exactly right. To be fair, I was about to go to 200, thinking the New York City tax, like a little New York City, write up, what is up, bump up. 300 is probably too much. Wait, I'm trying to think. Well, he doesn't clean the rec room, does he?
There's nothing in there anymore. There's just a punching bag.
Okay, but so he doesn't go in there.
No, it's just a punching bag. I don't know. Maybe they sweep the floor, mop the floor.
Right, because I'm just thinking so
there's literally nothing to clean. There's hand wraps and a punching bag.
He's probably in there just like sweeping that, just making extra money. Like, I'm not even doing anything here. 300 is, and then a tip or just
no? That's what
okay. Okay, that's high, but maybe I don't know. I've been out of New York City for a little while, so maybe I don't know.
And
I'm talking
like
Westchester
when my cousin lived with me,
but I think I can get like my house cleaned for that.
when my cousin lived with me for a little bit. He was like, I wasn't even gonna Venmo him for like cleaning, but he's like, no, Venmo me half. I'll go with you. And I was like, nah, you don't have to. He said, I'll do it. So I Venmoed him. He's like, well, I said half. And I was like, brother. He goes, you're paying way too much.
Yeah,
and I was like, and there were times where I considered bumping it down a notch, but you can't come back from where you were. And And then I saw a kid, and it got kicked up. It was at 260, and then it got.
That's a lot, bro. But you shouldn't go higher than that. Like he's probably like, I gotta bring my kids along and because we're this guy's paying me $300. I gotta make sure we get every fucking corner. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're paying him so much he feels like he needs to bring his kids into work.
By the way, the kids don't do a great job.
You walk in, you're like, this is the adult clean room, and this is the child clean room.
I don't even run my dishwasher. I don't know if they know how to.
They can't reach it, John. They're in a fucking bassinet,
down on the ground.
They're in a fucking stroller. How can they clean?
It is, it's fine. I'm glad you mentioned the childcare because I was walking over from the gym this morning and I was thinking how crazy it is that I grew up in a gym.
Because your dad,
my dad would my mom worked nights.
Oh right, didn't you have a babysitter in the gym or something like that?
Yeah. So my mom would work nights. She'd drop me off at practice. My dad would pick me up after practice. He'd go to the gym, and I'd just sit in the gym for 2 hours every night, and.
It explains so much.
But they had childcare in the gym.
Right, but it was like don't.
It was like here's a dumbbell, have fun.
Right, it was like don't let the kid die. It wasn't like nurture and care.
Yeah.
So you just watch your dad Polly, just fucking give me a question now. Let's go home. That probably explains quite a bit. But I think it's good. I wish I grew up in a gym.
It's like I was like it's so weird. I would get home from my day at 8 p.m. and it was just spent in the gym. My wife fucking
just sitting
there. For Barbie too much.
How old were you? How old were you?
I don't know, from when I was
no memories, young
until I don't know, until I was old enough to stay home, young to 4. No, my dad wouldn't leave me as young as my mom would. I don't know, young to 10.
Yeah,
I would
funny.
Spend the night in the gym.
I mean, I wish I did, man.
With the woman who was just bro. I remember I would go in costume.
What costume?
One time I went as a Rocketeer. I'd go as Rocketeer.
Oh, a full costume, not a gym.
I dressed as Peter Pan, obviously, for an entire year of my
Naturally,
life.
we know that.
But
yeah, no kidding.
Every day. What are you wearing today? Oh, take a fucking guess, Ma.
The same as the last 364, Ma.
Bring me the Peter Pan. But then my Rocketeer phase wasn't as long, but I would wear a red leather jacket and a backpack and the Rocketeer helmet. It's pretty on the nose.
I would probably. It's only happened once with the kids. Because also maybe that was she usually watches him. Their grandmother's usually around. Tonight they weren't.
True.
So give it a couple times. Because my cleaning lady has brought, and again we're talking about a kid who a teenager who could work, so it's different. But sometimes he came and sometimes he didn't, and I think it was probably
mind you,
just scheduling.
There's a 0% chance I do anything about it.
Oh yeah,
but
keep going.
Just know it makes me incredibly uncomfortable.
You're never gonna be in your apartment ever again. You should schedule it start coming during work hours, but you can't because the kids are in school. Now that we're in the thick of summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals to support sunny and active days. Factor, the ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track reaching your goals. Too busy with summer plans to cook, but you want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning up too, while still getting getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back outside and soak up that warm weather. With Factor, you can rest assured that you're making a sustainable choice. We offset 100% of our delivery emissions, source 100% renewable electricity for our production sites and offices, and feature sustainably sourced seafood in our meals. I know for me, I got 2 kids, I got 2 jobs now, I'm always running late, I don't even have time to do these quick, it only takes 30 minutes. I need to be able to pop a meal out, eat well, get my nourishment, and then get back to work, get back to the kids, get back to the fun. Same thing for them. The whole family can eat, and you don't have to worry about any. I don't care about the grocery store, but the dishes afterwards, it's the absolute worst. Cut all of that nonsense out of my life. It makes it 10 times easier. So I get Factor meals. You should too. This July, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Head to factormeals.com/KFC50 and use code KFC50 to get 50% off. That's code KFC50 at factormeals.com/KFC50 to get 50% off. Okay, voicemails.
What's up, guys? So I got a fun fact here. I think this one's more tailored towards fights.
Oh, boy.
I was watching Blue's Clues with my daughter today, and
That's not a good start.
Tyrese Gibson, that played Roman in the Fast series, made an appearance. So long before he gave us the cinematic masterpiece that was the Ejecto Ceto Cuz scene, he was in the season 3 finale of Blue's Clues teaching young children about Kwanzaa. So, the more you know. So, got a follow-up question off that. What is the most obscure role that you ever saw some actor or actress that went on to play much bigger roles but had some real obscure thing that they did early in their career?
Blippy, bro. Blippy's the answer. Blippy, because it's a very similar thing, too, that it's like a kid's show like that. I guess it's the opposite. Blippy was where he ended up, not where he was, but what was his name? It's something man. It's like Exacto Man or whatever. No, that's what he just said. But anyway, Blippy shitting in his friend's butt. I think that's I think it's real too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that was real splatter, right?
Yeah.
I think that
Do the Harlem
like,
Shake,
bro. That might be.
I think it's
happened a long time ago.
misrepresented when they say in. He shits on his friend. He doesn't have accuracy like that. Like, yeah.
That was a long time ago, so I can't say like it was like the end, like the rock bottom of the internet, but like because we've seen so much since then. But the day that people were so desperate for like clout that they were like, I got an idea. I'll try to shit in your ass. And that one guy was like, deal. Like, okay. And like to be the lesser of those two in that skit, you know what I mean? I'll play the leading role, you play the supporting role. Okay, cool. But in this case, it's me shitting on you. Whatever. Like whatever for the views, man. Oh, crazy. But hey, gotta get on that Harlem Shake fucking.
It's more accurate than you'd think. Because when I hear shitting in his butt, I thought like a fucking plane docking.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's long distance.
It's a fucking. It needed a cutoff. It was.
Imagine if he shit. Someone else shit onto him.
Just a separated fucking. What's cat of
nine tails?
No, what's the fucking centipede?
So human centipede.
Yeah. But we're all not together.
A long distance.
We haven't been sewed together by a madman. This is all just for fun. We have complete free will.
Bro, I sent you one of the funnier moments I feel like in our relationship. I sent you in a like serious manner a Tyrese video to be like, come on, man. Like, and
even you were like, because you I think of as a guy who knows and appreciates and likes early 2000s, not that Tyrese was ever a rapper, but R&B type stuff. You weren't like, here's Tyrese. You were like, listen to Roman Pierce.
Can I tell you what I did for you? I Googled his name.
All right.
I was like, for John, I want to say his name. I would have never known Roman Pierce. Can I tell you?
Also completely fucked my goddamn fucking Instagram algorithm now.
Tyrese?
Yeah, do you sending me that video? All I have is like inspirational videos now. And I had one.
I followed Tyrese after he came on our show. He's a wild boy on the internet. Like, every day is just, like, somebody, like, a video of another person, like, not a famous person, being like, I don't want teachers teaching my kids trans stuff. And he's like, Discuss in the comments. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, sometimes it's hardcore shit where he's just like, as a father, I don't think that women should work. Thoughts. Yo, Tyrese. Tyrese is not liking Barbie. Let me tell you what.
I did the, what you call it? Fucking, I just scrolling last night. I tweeted it. I got a clip or a suggested post, like inspirational. It says, "Man explains why your 20s are a waste of time," and I was like, "God damn, we're getting old."
Oh, I saw that.
That's just man.
It's just fucking.
Now
Rainn
Wilson's not a
fucking
fucking not.
But
like,
at least say Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, right.
At least know his fictional name, not just man.
My answer to that question, off the top of my head, first thing that came to mind was Jeremy Strong playing the mentally ill brother in The Judge.
That was as specific as a reference gets. Whoa.
The Judge is a great movie. Judge is an underrated movie.
Jeremy Strong is Kendall
Roy.
Yeah, he's one of those like method actor weirdos.
He
right?
plays like
retarded guy.
and he's just Robert Downey Jr.'s brother, like got kicked in the head by a horse or something. I think he was like in a car wreck. I could, if I remember the movie,
are two very different.
If I remember the movie correctly, well, kicked in the head of the horse. Just he's got some brain damage, and I forget if he was born with it or if he acquired it at some point in his life. But he is just. It's just Kendall Roy. He doesn't look like anything different. It's just Kendall Roy.
Just being
and then also there's every actor ever being a rapist in at some point in Law and Order.
Yeah, SVU's
Charlie
got
Kelly,
really?
Rob McElhenney. Oh yeah,
rapist?
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if it's rapist, but they're the criminals, or at least when you watch Law and Order, you'll go, which is the most accurate movie of all time.
The pointing.
Like,
yeah.
oh,
that's what people do every time. Yeah. Next up.
What's going on, KFC Radio? My name is Nick. I'm from Westchester, New York. Weeks ago, you guys talked about pigeons and if we have them in the suburbs, because you never see a pigeon in the suburbs. So I've been trying to film these little guys. We do have pigeons. Look at that. We have pigeons. This is up in northern Westchester. They are a different color, though. I don't know really what's up with that. Maybe... I don't fucking know. Maybe Fun Fat Girl can figure that out. But we got pigeons up here in the suburbs.
Those are seagulls. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
If he an Alka-Seltzer, if it lives, then it's a pigeon.
Maybe
one of the all-time
I
great.
don't fucking know. Maybe Fun Fat Girl can figure that out.
We're good. One of the all-time great
pigeons up
urban
here.
legends is, or I don't know.
I was going to say, is it an urban legend?
I don't
I've
know.
never been around a sociopath to do it.
That's the thing. Like, it better be an urban legend.
I think
Can you Google that? Somebody, does Alka-Seltzer explode pigeons?
I think
seagulls, right? Seagulls is.
I think it's any bird, but
yeah, but it used to be portrayed to me as seagulls at the beach. You would.
I think I've heard it explained. I think they don't actually explode, but I think they like
get sick and
shit
die.
until they like die.
Yeah.
I
But
think
that's
it
the
kills
thing.
them.
Like, you could probably say that about, like, I don't know, Tylenol. Like,
Right.
anything you feed it, you know? But I have this image of, like, Randy Johnson. That
Yeah.
pop, explode.
It said it would be ineffective at killing a pigeon. On the whole, birds do not generally pass wind in the same way as people, but they do not produce as much gas because they have a much lower proportion of bacteria within the gut.
Birds don't fart, and neither do
They
kangaroos.
pass wind much better than people.
Who do you think is the worst farter? Cows. Cows are the worst farts on the planet. They're like ruining the planet with their farts. They fart so bad that the planet is going to hell. I would imagine after that is probably
The Barstool office.
Yeah, it would probably go cows, Frank. All right, last voicemail. What do we got?
What's up, KFC? Fights, whole gang. A little behind on podcasts. I was on vacation last week, so I'm catching up on a lot of them. Just listen to the episode where you guys were talking about what age you could pass off of or pass off as. Curious to see what you guys think about me, and I'll give Jackie a second to guess here because she was fucking terrible at it. So if you want to pause it, let Jackie guess. I bet she's gonna be way fucking off. But I'm 26. I know, a little rough up top, but that's all right. So catching up with the podcast, and I thought of a random question. And I was putting on a belt the other day, and I had the realization that, like, why do men have, like, 2 different color belts? And it's for, obviously, fashion, color, whatever the fuck. And then I realized, like, that was one thing, like, one really minute thing that I thought, like, becoming a man, a grown adult was going from a 2-sided belt where you could like flip the buckle to 2 different colors, like a brown belt and a black belt. So like, question is like, what other really minute things
question.
do you think are like?
So
signs
that
of
there is,
becoming an
I
adult?
still appreciate a good flippable belt, but it is like if someone called me out and was like, "That's fucking white trash," or like you're a 15-year-old, I'd be like, "Yeah, I get it." That's a good question.
Whiskey, taste
Whiskey. Forcing whiskey upon yourself as a man who's like, I should drink whiskey and it's gonna be my drink, and if you don't like it, you still like do it anyway. That's definitely a grown man thing.
Reading the paper.
Reading the paper is, I don't know anymore. Maybe back then. That's not really gonna be a thing anymore though.
No. But that was like
For
when I was like growing up,
generation.
like something I thought of was like, oh, that's what men do.
I think getting this is
Hate Barbie.
I think getting a nice jacket is kind of a thing. That's more of like just something I think you should do.
Yeah.
But like you should go ahead and spend, a decent chunk. That's not really the essence of his question though.
I don't know. It's a good question. Like, what little things? Comfortable being naked.
That's probably
like
a good
the
one.
gym.
Yeah. Just letting your balls swang. But it's not. It's really just around the fellas. Like you still get like nervous like being naked around a girl, right?
Yeah.
It's funny around a guy.
Dude,
you're
I've
like,
been
whatever,
hitting the
bro.
sauna in the gym after I work out.
Naked.
No, it's very funny. I'm fully clothed with over-ear headphones on. I go
You
in.
put clothes on?
I don't like put clothes on, but like, I just go from my workout.
Oh,
into the
okay.
sauna.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's not that it's not fine. Don't say anything. I'm the only one in there like that. I just sit in the corner by myself.
Wait,
with
are
headphones in.
you're not doing a steam room? Are you doing a sauna?
Sauna.
With the wood and shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Steam room clothes on is crazy. That's like being in a shower.
Yeah. I did that actually in Amsterdam. I walked into the wrong one, and I was too embarrassed to walk out right away. So I just sat there, got soaked.
Even better. I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I stayed in the pool in my clothes.
No, I meant to be here.
Totally. This was a decision I made, and I'm happy with it. There's got to be a good one. I want to end on a good one because that is a good question. Something that,
Shoe horns.
No, to me that is.
I'm just thinking about my childhood and describing things my dad.
But
had
that's
or
what I mean.
did.
Like that, I think of shoe polish and a shoe horn as like that's some old man shit.
Bro, my dad
If
used to pay
you're-
me a nickel per shoe I shined.
What?
My dad used to pay me a nickel per shoe of his.
Bro, you would
of
think
his
we're
shoe.
born in like the Great Depression. I think,
Nah, it might have been a quarter.
I
It
think
was change. But.
Straight up getting your shoes shined, I think, is
Yeah.
kind of like an old man thing that like eventually. I mean, it's fine. Like you should just have like nice shoes, but like I used to do it when I first started working. That's a good one. I used to do that when I first started working, and I was
Get your
like, this
shoes shined?
is silly, and I felt really bad. Like that. You want to talk about guilt with like your child workers? You got some minority dude shining your shoes. I'm like, holy shit, this is not good. He's like, $2, please. I'm like, what the fuck? Here's $1 million. You just like got down. I'm like sitting above you. You like get down on your knees and you clean my dirty feet. And there's just a thing. It was in Grand Central. It was just like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I'm never doing this again.
My dad referenced everyone's shoes in the Barstool Frankie Borelli wedding picture. He's like, no one here ever shoe shined before.
See? That's exactly it.
He's like, Frank Borelli, the only guy who's ever heard of a shoe shine. Not Time Borelli, Tommy Smokes.
I feel like you can. I had brown shoes on. I feel like brown is. I don't know. I've always thought it was like a black shoe polish. Get the shiny black shoes.
Yeah.
But I guess you can have shitty brown shoes too. But it all probably centers around ties, belts, shoes. Like that sort of shit.
Yeah,
The rest of it is-
I don't know. The belt one wasn't one for me actually.
You always
Maybe
had belts.
maybe a handkerchief. You carry a disgusting bacteria thing in your pocket.
Come on. We're talking about these things are dead in the dirt, bro.
These are just things. I'm just thinking what the men in my family did.
Yeah, but that is
my dude.
bro.
Watching my dad fucking blow his nose. And
Your
stuff.
dad did. My grandfather's
Oh, my
did.
dad did. Yeah.
Bro, my one grandfather.
I don't think he does it anymore.
I
but
will
he,
never forget this. Never in my life. Watching my dad's dad take it out. Like. And he just went. And put it right back in.
It's
and I was like 6 or something. And I was like. I'll never see him again. Like I'll never see him the same way again. He was dead in the box. I'm saying my prayer at the wake, and I was like, "Dear Grandpa, That one time was so weird, dude. I can't believe you did that. The snot definitely got all over your hands and shirt. I love you. Goodbye.
Probably in his pocket.
Totally gross. The worms were crawling in there going, this is disgusting. All right. Interview time. It's just two different brains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's your smart brain and your dumb brain. But, it's like, I'm never getting involved in that
It's
again.
part of
and then,
the same
2 minutes
reason,
later,
like-
you're involved in it again.
Because I get
I do
involved
it all
with
the
it
time.
with
Like never
in,
another athlete. And I'm like,
Right back to it.
literally on the way here, I was looking at all the New York rosters. There's so many ugliest teams in all of sports. There's not one attractive person on one New York team. I was like, I can't
Did
even.
you look at like all 4 major sports?
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
I was just cruising.
Jesus.
It is really toxic
I
girl
was,
summer.
Insanely toxic girl summer. Next level.
It's so much
toxic girl
easier
summer.
now because back in my day, you used to have to go like fucking hang out at a hotel or like
sure.
go to the club, find them out in the wild, drink and drive.
Yeah.
The good old days cackle.
Dude, the drink.
You had to literally capture them in the wild.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
hunting.
it was like spear hunting.
Yeah.
I was, dude. This is how bad I am with drinking. Where like, Tom Brady is in the news this morning. He was seen dropping
Acid.
Irina
Sheik,
whatever her name is, dropping her off at her hotel.
Oh, so he's fucking her, huh?
Yeah,
I thought that was gonna be a fake. Like, they just. Okay.
No, because he was seen caressing her face in the car, and I was like, "That's 7 Super Bowls confidence." I've
Yeah.
never touched a woman's face like sober, casually. Like,
See, but I almost think I think that's he's weirdo and like doesn't know how to.
dude,
I think that's
some
almost,
lethargic.
I think that's
weird.
weird.
I don't know. I think
Would you like that?
No.
I think that's like he
If it
doesn't
was
know
Tom
how
Brady,
to
you
do
would.
it.
No,
Well,
I just
probably,
don't. He's not attractive.
He's
to me.
white.
No, I'm open.
Open for business?
Yeah, equal opportunity employer.
but they were like,
Diversity is going on.
Representation. This
Yeah.
pussy is represented. Okay.
it was like Tom Brady like seen like dropping her off at her hotel, and I was like my brain first went, Brady's driving drunk. Like I couldn't process that he had sex and drove someone afterwards.
Yeah, no, that actually.
I was like, what the fuck, Brady? Brady's out there getting
Got her
DUI.
black card.
Like,
That's very funny.
dude, when I was like standing in my apartment this morning, just standing there, like getting dressed, whatever, and I was like, Jesus, Tom, clean it up. And then
Dangerous.
And then I looked in the
together,
mirror. I looked
Tom.
up and looked in the mirror, and I was like, you clean it up.
Tom's doing fine. You clean it.
It is interesting. It'll be interesting to watch him because he is. There's probably like how many guys do you think are on that level when it comes to
Tom.
like 3 or 4 of them? When it
Yeah,
comes
but
to,
that we
like-
know
like-
of because I mean he's just so famous. But there's like
But
a
that's
lot
what I
of
mean.
people. Yeah,
I'm saying like you
Yeah,
can't as an athlete you can like sleep around and date, and then as like a mega athlete you got to kind of be a little more quiet, and then as like
Yeah.
a top level. I mean, but you say that, but like you have to
yeah.
be smart
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like he is going to be seen. It's going to be paparazzi
Yeah,
like
yeah,
every
yeah.
time he's next to a woman, you
Yeah.
know. But he's so kind of like a weird robot that I don't know if he's even like I don't think he knows how to do it. I think Tom Brady knows how to like be single and like fuck
No.
chicks and shit.
Bro,
No, I
You know
think
what
he's
Brady-
so awkward. He's
Yeah.
probably like just like throws a football at
You
her.
guys don't respect
Right, like,
Tom
go
Brady.
along.
So my other thought is everything he does, it's greatness. So maybe he's going to be the greatest of all time at it.
Dude,
but I can see him being
Tom
like
Brady
No.
dated Tara Reid in the Tara Reid
that's
years.
true.
Don't worry about Tom Brady with women. He knows how to handle his ladies. Tom Brady dated Tara
Tara
Reid
Reid
when
was-
Tara Reid was Tara Reid.
yeah, that was probably a fucking.
You should date
time.
Tara Reid.
Yeah, she's a crystal lady now. I read an article on her recently.
Oh, is she?
That, that tracks.
Yeah.
that makes sense. I think he's gonna he'll just be in the paparazzi every time. And if he
I think he'll figure it out. He can be sneakier.
that's what I mean. I
He
just
needs
think
some
he's,
guidance.
like,
He needs a mentor.
he
He needs
but-
somebody
but-
to help him out.
But he doesn't like
being a
run in
hoe.
that circle. He needs someone on his team to be like, and he doesn't have one anymore. You know what I mean?
I'll hit him
he's
up.
like-
I'll slide in his DMs.
I'll put him through the ringer.
Yeah. But I don't want to fuck him. I just want to tell him how to be more slick.
What do they call it? Seer
Like,
training?
Fucking.
what?
Seer, SERE. It's like basically that they do to like CIA people where they kidnap you and torture you, but it's your guys doing it.
That's
Is that
It's like you're gonna come
this
out
is
the
for
other
your
way.
own good, so we know where you can break.
Right.
waterboarding.
You'll come out better, I promise. I don't want to do this, but I have to do it for your own
You're gonna get caught. We need to know how you react once caught.
I feel like no matter what you've experienced, Tom might be a different animal.
I think you're wrong. I think you don't know what I've experienced.
I feel like even he might just be that. I don't know. He's just so different. I think because like he is. Just,
He doesn't seem like he has a personality.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. He seems like a robot. Like,
yes. Right.
Yeah.
And that, I think
He looks like a robot.
I think
he
people
acts
expect a certain thing from him, and if he's gonna be like dropping supermodels off at the
But
hotel and
he's
shit,
the
he's not
guy-
gonna get that. Like it's just gonna be different for him than anybody else.
I understand the robot assumption because I see it now too. He's a walking billboard.
He also
everything.
is looking like a robot now. Who's
Yeah,
whatever he's
got,
doing
like,
to his face, he's turning
he's
into a
got
robot.
surgery.
But
and
he's
it's
also
weird.
like, if you're gonna talk personality, I don't think he's been in locker rooms for 25 years. I don't think
Everybody
anyone's
loves
ever
him.
walked out and been like, that dude's the fucking man.
Yeah.
Like, everyone
No.
says that. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
he's the fucking coolest dude. He's the
Really?
nicest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like no one's ever left the locker room and been like, Tom Brady sucks. Fuck that guy.
I think
Damn.
it's a little bit like I think there's probably some people who are like, he's a little bit weird, but we win all the time and he's cool. You know what I mean?
I don't think people don't say weird. They're like, he's just the coolest, nicest guy in the world.
I guess when you
Okay, well maybe he's the fucking best. Maybe
Don't talk about bad
maybe-
Tom Bad on this show.
Maybe he's untouchable. Maybe he's my guy.
All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.